Chapter 3061 Another breakthrough in cultivation, 5 eternal world spirits. Finally, these demon species at the peak of the mid-level god realm in the eternal realm were killed. Yi Tian breathed a sigh of relief. Immediately, he found the ore of the mysterious magic crystal ore and other materials of the black magic crystal on these several monsters, and gained a lot. It's better to kill these powerful demon seeds, and the harvest will be even greater. Yi Tian said excitedly. After that, he sent a duplicate body to send these resources out. The years passed. Yi Tian kept looking for the ore of the magic crystal ore, and wrote some kinds of fights. However, this day, Yi Tian encountered another high-level demon in the eternal world, and was beheaded by the other party. But not long after, a battle broke out between the high-ranking gods in the eternal world in this gap. Before you know it, billions of years have passed since the Tao era. At this time, Yi Tian completely gave up on this boundary seam, because it is already difficult for him to find the ore of the magic crystal ore, and he enters here too frequently and duplicates his body and falls many times. If he continues, the demons will catch him for research. Therefore, he kept a low profile and withdrew from here temporarily. What's more, he has collected a lot of black magic crystal ore in these years, which is enough to raise his eternal Tao seed to the current limit, so as to condense the 5th perfect level eternal world spirit. The holy country of the human race. Yi Tian came back here, and then began to refine the ore with all his strength. Of course, in the previous years, he also copied his body to refine, and he has been practicing, but in just a few billion years to the Tao era, it is naturally impossible to raise the eternal Tao seed to the limit. He estimated that he still needs about 50 billion years from the Tao era to raise the eternal Tao seed to the current limit. In addition, Yi Tian also gave a part of the magic crystal material to his wife and children, so that they can refine the eternal Tao seed, so that they can reach the middle-level cultivation base of the eternal God realm as soon as possible, so that they can have enough strength, and can handle more situations. 10 billion to the Tao era. 20 billion to the Tao era. Before you know it, 50 billion years have passed since the Tao era. During this period, 2 eternal realm spirit fruits were bred. This time, he is going to use an eternal realm spirit fruit to help him condense the 5th eternal realm. The eternal Tao seed has reached its limit, Yi Tian murmured. Immediately, he began to practice the 5th eternal world spirit inheritance, Tianyan Shuangui, which is a perfect level eternal world spirit of defense. Once it is practiced, his own defense will become flawless. Let's start. Yi Tian took out a variety of resources that were helpful for breakthroughs, World Spirit Darkness Flower, Eternal World Spirit Fruit and many other resources, coupled with the perfect level Eternal World Spirit Inheritance, enough to make his success rate as high as 70%. Boom! Yi Tian began to condense the Tianyan Shuangui World Spirit, and the unimaginably powerful Eternal Tao seed was being drawn to gather the Tianyan Xuanyu. Gradually, a phantom appeared in the Tianyan Shuangui, but it solidified little by little. And Yi Tian also swallowed those resources, such as the World Spirit Darkness Flower and the Eternal World Spirit Fruit, and even absorbed some mysterious magic crystal material, which also had some effect on him. A large number of resources were refined by him, and the Tianyan Shuangui naturally became more and more solid. I don't know how long it has passed, but finally, his Tianyan Shuangui World Spirit successfully condensed, and the Eternal Tao seed is also a little weak, but the situation is not bad, and it may not take long to recover. Compared with other world gods, every time he breaks through, he is almost on the verge of death. Compared with the long years of weakness, his kind is almost not weak. Boom! After the Tianyan Shuangui World Spirit was condensed, the perfect level Eternal World Spirit technique was naturally awakened. Open black lens bracket Tian Yangshuan tortoise shell close black lens bracket. With a thought in Yi Tian's mind, this perfect level Eternal World Spirit technique was activated. In an instant, his body was covered with a layer of Tianyan Zan tortoise shell, which perfectly merged with his body, and he couldn't see through the tortoise shell at all, but if you look closely, you will find that there are dense tortoise shell patterns on his skin, but the color and breath are the same as the body, so you can't feel it. Only when you really bear the attack, you can find this set of Tianyan Shuangui. Next, Yi Tian let other cloned bodies attack his own body, and defended with the Tianyan Zan tortoise armor. As a result, he easily blocked the attack. It's a very good defense against the Eternal World Spirit. In this way, my life-saving ability is even stronger. Yi Tian murmured. After this breakthrough, Yi Tian's physical strength has far surpassed that of the past, the Eternal Tao seed is also changing, and his strength and cultivation have continued to skyrocket, which is no longer comparable to the past. In the days that followed, Yi Tian was still restoring the eternal Tao seed, using the material of the mysterious devouring demon crystal to improve his cultivation and strengthen the eternal Tao seed. This period of time was also the stage when his strength skyrocketed rapidly. Time flies. Another billions of Tao era years have passed. At this time, Yi Tian's eternal Tao seed has passed the rapid improvement period, and his cultivation is naturally stable. At this moment, he is already a real powerhouse of eternal ghosts and gods who has condensed 5 eternal world spirits. With my current strength, it may be enough to compete with the high-level powerhouses in the eternal realm. Yi Tian murmured. Certainly, not only has he made progress, but his wife and children have also condensed the 4th eternal world spirit during this period of time, and their cultivation has broken through and entered the middle level of the eternal world god realm. If it were not for these mysterious magic-devouring crystal substances, they would not be able to break through to the middle-level cultivation base of the eternal realm god realm so quickly. But soon, Yi Tian discovered a problem. Jiao Jiao mystic devouring demon crystal substance, the effect on me has been weakened a lot. If I want to raise my current eternal Tao seed to the limit, I need a lot of profound devouring demon crystal substance. Yi Tian muttered. However, as long as it is useful, no matter how much magic crystal material is needed, he has to collect it. Treasures like the eternal magic pillar and the scarlet Lin ancient spear have no effect on him now, they can only be reduced to pure weapons and have no other effect. Sure enough, the higher the cultivation level, the more resources are useless to me. Yi Tian murmured. Boundary seam. Yi Tian came to this place again containing the material of the mysterious magic crystal, and he planned to look for the ore of the magic crystal ore again. If he could find a large amount of magic crystal material, he might be able to get his the eternal Tao seed has been raised to the limit. But this time, he was going to attack the demon seed to plunder the material of the mysterious devouring magic crystal. Chapter 3062 Prepare to ambush high-level demon species. Yi Tian is very clear that he is slowly looking for the material of the mysterious magic crystal, and it is impossible to obtain too many black magic crystal ore in a short time. He tried it before, but he couldn't find any ore of the magic crystal ore. However, those mid-level demons in the eternal realm or high-level demons in the eternal realm definitely still have a lot of mysterious magic crystal ores and other substances. If you kill more, you can get a lot of mysterious magic crystalline substance. That's why he came here this time. According to the previous information, there will occasionally be high-level demons from the eternal realm coming in here, but those high-level demons cannot stay here often, and the possibility of encountering these high-level demons is not high. It is still here for a long time now. There are some mid-level monsters in the eternal world, kill these mid-level monsters first. Yi Tian decided. Of course, once the mid-level monsters lose a lot, the high-level monsters will inevitably come in. At that time, he can completely ambush a high-level demon, and at the cost of sacrificing his multiple cloned bodies, there is almost a 100% possibility of killing a high-level demon. Once successful, he can leave here immediately. That's it. Yi Tian murmured. Somewhere in the seam, 3 peak mid-level demons in the eternal realm are leading more than a dozen mid-level demons in the 213 divine realm in the eternal realm and many elementary demons in the eternal realm. They are mining a mine vein, which is not mysterious. The demon-devouring crystal vein, but another vein, the tea on my demon gold vein. This is a tea on my magic gold vein they just discovered. Tea on my demon gold can be refined into weapons. A huge piece of tea on my demon gold ore can only extract a small amount of tea on my demon gold, and only high-level demon species have enough strength to extract that amount from tea on my demon gold or definitely some tea on my magic gold. The weapons forged and refined by tea on my demon gold are extremely hard and can be said to be indestructible. In terms of weapon manufacturing, tea on my demon gold is much higher than the material of Xuan demon crystal. It can be said that a vein of tea on my demon gold is enough to make even high-level demons be excited. This time, they were also ordered to mine this tea on my demon gold vein quickly, otherwise a great battle would inevitably break out if they were discovered by the realm gods of the realm god realm. Hurry up, or the world gods will find this place, and we will have to fight them. Said Quang Xin, the middle peak of the god realm in the eternal realm. Quang Xin, I'll go to investigate nearby, and I have to be careful about those world gods AHAA. If I find those world gods, I will notify you immediately. Said another demon species, Ping-Tu, a mid-level peak demon in the eternal realm. Ping-Tu, be careful, Quang Xin said. Wow, Ping-Tu went to investigate nearby, and the patrol post was a piece of territory. The years passed. Some time has passed. Suddenly, A terrifying force descended, and Pintu sensed it, but before he could resist, he was pierced through the eternal demon seed by a spear. This force surpassed his cognition and imagination. High-level world god. This was his last thought before he died. He never expected that a high-ranking world god would actually engage in assassination. Wow, Yi Tian appeared and took away the material resources on the demon seed Pintu. That's right, there are actually quite a lot of magic-devouring magic crystals. Hey, this is the tea on my magic gold ore, and it's also a good thing. Yi Tian saw the tea on my magic gold. He happened to lack a top-notch weapon. Although he had the Eternal Demon Pillar, the Scarlet Lin Ancient Spear, and some other Eternal Realm treasure weapons, they were enough for the general middle-level Eternal Realm gods. But to him, these weapons are mediocre, not worthy of his current combat power. According to his understanding, those high-level world gods and high-level monsters will be equipped with their own unique weapons. The tea on my demon gold is a weapon material suitable for refining high-level demon seeds, and it is also suitable for demon seeds, but it is not suitable for realm gods. If a realm god holds the tea on my demon gold weapon, Eternal Tao seed, it will naturally be affected. But Yi Tian is not afraid. He is a perfect level Eternal Tao species, and the tea on my magic gold weapon is also suitable for him. Moreover, if the tea on my demon gold is really refined into a weapon, it can cover the breadth of the tea on my demon gold, and will not expose the existence of the tea on my demon gold. However, these tea on my magic gold ores are not too much, and you can't extract much tea on my magic gold. If you can get more tea on my magic gold, that would be great. Wow, Yi Tian left here and moved on. Soon, he discovered a group of demon species, as well as the tea on my demon gold veins. This is the tea on my demon gold ore. No wonder the demon seed just now has those tea on my demon gold ores on him. It seems that this group of demon seeds are mining tea on my demon gold. Yi Tian murmured. He didn't do it immediately, but withdrew, and began to gather more duplicate bodies. He was going to take down these demon seeds and tea on my demon gold directly. Not long after, Yi Tian's 6 duplicate bodies appeared here. But he still didn't do anything. He waited until these demon seeds had almost mined the tea on my magic gold, and then he would do it, so that he could save himself the time of mining the open vein magic gold. Otherwise, I will really do it. If the high-level demons come here, I don't have time to slowly collect the tea on my demon gold ore. Some time has passed. It seems that there has been no communication from the demon seed Pintu, and these demon seeds have begun to doubt. As a result, several species began to come out to investigate the situation. Can't wait any longer, do it directly. Yi Tian crossed the void, instantly killed the monster, and then surrounded the group of monsters. Boom! Yi Tian shot out brazenly, and the Shuri field enveloped this area. Immediately, he cast a series of perfect-level Eternal World Spirit spells to kill them. These monsters are also resisting, but even the middle-level peak monsters of the Eternal Realm God Realm like the monster Quangshin are like ants in Yi Tian's hands. Puff 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 puff. These monsters were killed by Yi Tian in a short period of time. Then, Yi Tian looted all the resources and treasures on them. There are so many tea on my magic gold ores, it's a big profit. Yi Tian was excited. Then, he mined the tea on my magic gold ore by himself, trying to mine as much as he could. It's almost there. A duplicate body has to be withdrawn with these resources. Wow, a duplicate body of Yi Tian left with these resources and treasures, and soon went out from this world and returned to the holy kingdom of human race. And he is waiting for the high-level demons to appear here, so as to ambush the high-level demons. If he is lucky, there is a high probability that he can successfully ambush him, unless it is a special situation where 2 high-level demons come together, then there is no way. Chapter 3063 Kill the high-level demon species. As time goes by, Yi Tian has been hiding here, waiting for the arrival of high-level demons. Finally this day, a high-level demon is coming. It's this high-level demon. Yi Tian stared at a high-level demon that was traveling through the void in front of him, and recognized him. High-level demon species, Keelan. Before, Yi Tian encountered this high-level demon, but at that time he hadn't condensed the 5th perfect-level Eternal World Spirit, and his strength was not as good as the opponent's, so he was killed by this high-level demon. But this time, he was not afraid of the other party. Wow, the high-level demon seed Keelan came here to check this tea on my demon gold mine, vein. And soon, he discovered Yi Tian who was hiding in the dark. Court death. This high-level monster made a bold move, shattering Yi Tian's hidden void with one blow, completely shattering this area into nothingness. And Yi Tian was naturally forced out. It's you. The high-level demon Kalen showed a look of shock. He remembered that he had already killed Yi Tian, but he didn't expect that Yi Tian was still alive. Hush haha. Yi Tian's duplicated bodies appeared one after another, and there were 5 duplicated bodies in total. It shouldn't be a big problem to besiege the high-level demon Kalen. 5. The high-level demon Kai Linyi realized that Yi Tian had multiple clones, and the one who killed last time should be only one of them. It is almost difficult for a world god to have a clone, because ordinary clones are useless. At best you can only refine ordinary clones of the eternal to the Tao, unless you let the eternal to the Tao to practice step by step. Cultivated to this level, it can be said that he has almost never heard of clones at the high level of the god realm in the eternal realm. And the 5 clones are even more terrifying. Of course, he also knew that Yi Tian's cultivation had not reached the high level of the god realm in the eternal realm, so he didn't care too much. You 5 clones, let me die. The high-level monster Kalen continued to attack Yi Tian. But soon, he became confused. Yi Tian's strength has also reached the high-level combat power of the god realm in the eternal realm. Boom! The high-level demon Kalen was completely suppressed by Yi Tian's 5 cloned bodies, and Yi Tian also possessed the 2 perfect defensive spells of the Tianyan Zan Tortoise Armor and Tianyan Scale Armor. Yanpeng's light technique made Yi Tian extremely difficult to deal with. Soon, after the high-level demon Kalen used an ultimate move and hit Yi Tian's defensive body, he was actually blocked by the 2 perfect defensive eternal ghosts of the undeveloped mysterious turtle armor and the undeveloped scale armor technique. In fact, he did defeat the outermost layer of the Tianyan Zan Tortoise armor, but he did not break through the innermost layer of the Tianyan scale armor. That's right, it really is necessary to choose an eternal world spirit with a superimposed defense type. Yi Tian thought to himself. After all, you only have output when you are alive. He already has the attack type Eternal World Spirit Art, so naturally there is no need to choose another attack type Eternal World Spirit Art, which will not increase his strength much. But the defense can be superimposed. As long as the defense is strong enough, he can surround and kill the enemy. This is also the reason why he chose to choose the 5th Eternal World Spirit as the Tianyan Shuangui. As time passed, Kalen, the high-level demon seed, gradually became seriously injured. He wants to escape. However, how could Yi Tian let him escape? Boom! Yi Tian burned the eternal Tao seed, and erupted with even more terrifying power to intercept the high-level demon seed Kalen. Various techniques to suppress and confine this area were also displayed. Under such circumstances, there was no way for the high-level demon Kalen to escape. In desperation, he could only choose to ask for help. Yi Tian still had no way to intercept Kalen's call for help, but he also sensed that Kalen sent out a call for help to the outside world. Kalen must be killed as soon as possible, otherwise there will be another high-level demon, and I can't kill the 2 high-level demons. Yi Tian secretly thought. So, he also started desperately, frantically fighting this high-level demon. Not long after, this high-level demon-seated Kalen was blasted to death by Yi Tian, and turned into a corpse. Finally killed him, Yi Tian breathed a sigh of relief. But the price he paid was also very high. The 3 duplicated bodies were severely injured, and although the other 2 duplicated bodies were not seriously injured, the eternal Tao seed also burned a lot of damaged origins. But as long as this high-level monster is beheaded, it will be worth it. Immediately, Yi Tian quickly took away the corpse of this high-level demon, and then left quickly. He doesn't have time to check the material treasures on this high-level monster, and if he wastes a little time, he may encounter other high-level monsters. 0. Seeking flowers. Outside the boundary seam. Yi Tian came out and immediately returned to the holy kingdom of the human race. After returning to the holy kingdom of human race, he began to check the treasure resources on the high-level demon Kalen. It is worthy of being a high-level demon seed, and there are really many resources on it. Although almost all of them are useful resources for the demon seed, it will make the world god demon seed, but it is suitable for me. Yi Tian murmured. In addition, he also discovered a lot of resources for refining weapons of high-level demon seeds, including a lot of Tian my magic gold. Obviously, this high-level demon has not yet possessed his own weapon. If he had such a powerful weapon, he might still be able to escape. In addition to the Tian my demon gold, there are also quite a few substances that help to refine the eternal demon seed, the amount of which is very large. I've made a lot of money this time, so I'll earn even more by killing high-level monsters. Yi Tian murmured. However, he doesn't know whether the material of the mysterious magic crystal in his hand can raise his eternal Tao seed to the current limit, and there is a high probability that he can't. In the following years, Yi Tian did not go to that boundary seam again, but tried his best to improve his eternal Tao seed, and tried to extract the vein-opening magic gold from the vein-opening storehouse gold mine cloth. However, he is not a high-level cultivator in the eternal realm, and it is still very difficult to extract the Tian My Demon Gold from the Tian My Demon Gold ore. Therefore, he continued to study and wanted to create a special eternal Taoist secret technique to extract the Tian My Magic Gold. After numerous studies, creation deduction. This day, Yi Tian finally researched it out. He named this eternal Tao seed secret technique the Tian My Demon Gold extraction technique, which can only be used to extract the Tian My Demon Gold. However, it will take a long time to extract a piece of Tian My Magic Gold ore with this Tian My Magic Gold extraction technique, and it will not be able to extract it quickly. Yi Tian has a lot of duplicate bodies, so he doesn't worry about the time issue. He lets the 3 duplicate bodies continue to extract the Tian My Magic Gold ore, so the efficiency is much faster. After many years, Yi Tian successfully extracted the Tian My Magic Gold from a piece of Tian My Magic Gold ore. Chapter 3064 Soldiers of the Supreme Realm. Yi Tian stared at the little bit of Tian My Magic Gold in his hand, and breathed a sigh of relief. A piece of Tian My Magic Gold ore is very huge, about several cubic meters, and this Tian My Magic Gold is only the size of a sesame seed, and it took him a long time to extract it. It has to be said that it is really difficult to extract the Tian My Magic Gold if the cultivation level does not reach the high level of the eternal realm. However, it can still be extracted anyway. In the long years that followed, Yi Tian continued to extract the Tian My Demon Gold, and in addition, he killed the high-level demon seed Kalen, and the other party had the extracted Tian My Demon Gold testicles. Therefore, he accumulated more and more Tian My Magic Gold. Billion to Tao era, 10 billions to the Tao era, 50 billion to the Tao era. After such a long time, Yi Tian finally extracted these 770 Tian My Magic Gold ores, and in the later stage, he directly used 6 or 7 duplicate bodies to extract the Tian My Magic Gold ores together. There are so many Tian My Magic Gold, it should be enough. Yi Tian thought to himself. With so much Tian My Demon Gold, plus other materials he obtained, it is more than enough to refine a weapon suitable for high-level world gods. However, he does not have the method of forging that kind of weapon. According to his understanding, the weapons suitable for the use of high-level world gods are called Supreme Realm Soldiers, and Supreme Realm Soldiers cannot be refined casually. If there is no complete forging method, just randomly mix some materials to refine them. What is produced is often waste products, but those materials will be wasted, and the loss will be great. It's a pity that this high-level demon species doesn't have the method of forging the Supreme Realm Soldiers. Maybe it's not that he hasn't gathered the materials, but he hasn't gathered the complete method of forging the Supreme Realm Soldiers. Yi Tian guessed. Certainly, without the method of forging the Supreme Realm Soldiers, it is not impossible to forge them, and there is still a very low success rate. It is said that the true forging method of the Supreme Realm Soldiers was initially forged indiscriminately, and the successful forging method was recorded and became the real forging method of the Supreme Realm Soldiers. It can be said that the method of forging the Supreme Realm Soldiers at the beginning was all practiced. And Yi Tian didn't have so many materials, so naturally he didn't dare to try it casually. Yi Tian is very clear that it is almost impossible to buy the complete forging method of Supreme Realm Soldiers, and no force will sell it. And the powers that really possess the method of forging the Supreme Realm Soldiers are almost all top powers. These top powers are extremely rich. How can they trade with him? However, if you go to trade some incomplete forging methods of the Supreme Realm Soldiers, you may be able to buy them. Subsequently, Yi Tian ordered the Human Race Holy Nation Chamber of Commerce to trade the method of forging the Supreme Realm Soldiers, even the incomplete ones. The Human Race Saint Country Chamber of Commerce went to various parts of the Eastern Wu territory to purchase such incomplete forging methods of the Supreme Realm Soldiers. As for when they would be able to purchase them, Yi Tian didn't know, so he could only wait silently. However, not long after, Yi Tian received the news that the Human Race Holy Nation Chamber of Commerce had purchased an incomplete Supreme Realm armor forging method, but the incompleteness was severe, so it was successfully traded without using too many resources, and the first it was sent to Yi Tian's hand in no time. It is indeed the method of forging the Supreme Realm Soldiers, but the incompleteness is too severe, the key forging content is gone, only a little incomplete information. Yi Tian was a little disappointed. Such an incomplete forging method of the Supreme Realm Soldiers, even if it is deduced, cannot deduce the complete forging method of the Supreme Realm Soldiers. However, the Human Race Holy Nation Chamber of Commerce is still purchasing the incomplete method of forging the Supreme Realm Soldiers, and it will definitely be able to purchase it. If he has accumulated a lot of incomplete forging methods of Supreme Realm soldiers, it will definitely be of great use to him, and then there is hope that he can deduce a truly complete forging method of Supreme Spring Leap. Really, in the years that followed, the human race Holy Nation Chamber of Commerce acquired a series of incomplete forging methods for the Supreme Realm soldiers. Most of them came from those middle-level forces, and a few came from powerful forces. These forces have had glorious eras. For example, they used to be powerful forces, even top-notch forces. It was just that in the wars of demon invasions, the strong fell, and then they gradually declined. After a long time, the human race Holy Nation Chamber of Commerce has acquired 18 incomplete forging methods of the Supreme Realm soldiers, and sent them all to ETN. These forging methods of the Supreme Realm soldiers have different degrees of incompleteness, but there is no doubt that they are all severely incomplete, and there are even methods of forging the Supreme Realm soldiers that are intentionally incomplete, but those forces want to earn more resources but intentionally does not give complete inheritance and. Certainly, ETN wanted these forging methods of the Supreme Realm soldiers just for reference, so he didn't care about the degree of incompleteness. There are so many incomplete forging methods of the Supreme Realm soldiers, it should be enough for me to use the Tianyan roulette to deduce the truly complete forging method of the Supreme Realm County. Yi Tian secretly thought. Start deduction. Yi Tian took out the Eternal Realm Bao Tianyan roulette and began to deduce. Eternal Realm Treasure deduces the method of forging the Supreme Realm soldiers, which must be very difficult and cost a lot. But Yi Tian still paid all the price to deduce it, and he reckoned that he could still deduce it. Time flies. Yi Tian sacrificed one copy body after another, and deduced it bit by bit, consuming a lot of resources. After all, every time the body is condensed and copied, it consumes a lot of resources. However, as he gradually became more and more familiar with the forging method of the Supreme Realm soldiers, the efficiency of the deduction was naturally improving. At this moment, he is naturally full of confidence in deducing the method of forging the Supreme Realm soldiers. It has been deduced for more than 10 billion years to the Tao era. Finally, Yi Tian's deduction came out. 2.2 The forging method of Supreme Realm soldiers. Yi Tian named this deduced spear the Tianyan spear. Once it was forged, it would definitely be extremely powerful. Certainly, the method of forging the Tianyan spear he deduced is different from the normal forging method of the Supreme Realm soldiers. It is more biased towards the demon species, because he needs to use the Tian my magic gold. It must be the Emperor's Tian my gold. In fact, some of the Supreme Realm soldiers on the side of the Realm God Kingdom have a small amount of Tian my demon gold mixed in. After forging, the substances that are not good for the Realm God in the Tian my demon gold are burned out, and it is also there is no harm to high-level world gods. But Yi Tian is mobilizing a large amount of Tian my demon gold. If a high-level world god dares to use the Tianyan spear, if the Eternal Tao seed is not a perfect Eternal Tao seed, if it is activated for a long time, it will inevitably become a demon seed. Chapter 3065 Heaven Swallowing Devil Flame. If I forge the Tianyan spear, my strength will increase a lot. Even a high-level world god who gathers 7 eternal world spirits can easily suppress the other party, unless the other party also has the weapon of the Supreme Realm Soldier. Yi Tian secretly thought, now that there is a method for forging the Tianyan spear, the next step is to forge this Supreme Realm Soldier. Materials, he has now, and enough. There are also methods of forging. But he still lacks one thing, that is the flame that can calcine the Tian my magic gold. Tian my magic gold is very tough, and so are other materials. If you want to calcine Tian my magic gold and other materials to forge a Tianyan spear, you need a very terrifying flame to do it. Yi Tian went to investigate specifically, and found that the flames capable of casting Supreme Realm soldiers were very rare, and almost all of them were in the hands of some top forces. Therefore, many high-level world gods have no way to forge the Supreme Realm soldiers by themselves, and will invite some high-level world gods who are good at making Supreme Realm soldiers to forge them, but the price paid is unimaginable, and often 07 has to pay several times more. The material is even 10 times the price of the material. After all, there are only materials, there is no forging method of the Supreme Realm soldiers, and there is no flame to smelt the materials, so it is natural to pay such a high price. Even, you have to have a connection, the general high-level world god. If you go to someone, they will not help you. For example, in the Dongwu realm, there are only 6 top forces that have the power to refine the Supreme Realm soldiers, but it is extremely difficult to ask these 6 forces to help refine the Supreme Realm soldiers. If it doesn't matter, even if the other party agrees, there is a high probability that they will directly swallow the materials and the price paid, and then give a reply that the refining failed. No way, I have experienced trouble at the top. For example, Yi Tian, if he went to the top forces to refine it, they agreed, but the top forces saw that Yi Tian was only a middle-level cultivator in the eternal realm God realm, and he had no background, so they might fool him and say refining failed. In fact, it didn't help him refine at all. And he paid more than 10 times the price, but got nothing. This is also the reason why Yi Tian will not find a way to find a high-ranking world god of the top power to refine the Supreme Realm soldiers. I can only find the flame to refine the Supreme Realm soldiers by myself. Yi Tian secretly thought. Therefore, in the following days, he focused on asking the Holy Nation Chamber of Commerce to find this kind of flame, and he was also trying to find out about the flame. After many years of investigation, he really found news about a kind of flame, but this kind of flame has a lot of side effects, and it is more suitable for the use of demons. Open black lens bracket swallowing demon flame close black lens bracket. This kind of flame can be used to refine the Supreme Realm soldiers, but it can't bear the eternal Tao seed of the high-ranking realm god, and it is easy to become a demon seed. At the level of a high-level world god, it is more difficult to transform into a demon, but the heaven-swallowing demon flame can turn a high-level world god into a demon. Therefore, high-ranking realm gods did not dare to use the heaven-swallowing demon flame to refine the Supreme Realm soldiers. But Yi Tian is not worried about the heaven-swallowing demonic flame, and the heaven-swallowing demonic flame is more suitable for refining the Supreme Realm soldier Tianyan spear. After all, it needs a lot of Tian my demon gold to open the expansion spear. The side effects of the heaven-swallowing demon flame are very serious, so Yi Tian has the hope of getting a deal. Dongwu territory, the top force, Jiashan. Yi Tian came here, and he wanted to make a deal with a high-level world god in Jiehe Mountain to buy the heaven-swallowing demon flame. Soon, he met with the high-ranking world god of Comprehension, the god of the northern underworld. Yi Tian Jishan, are you the one who wants to buy my heaven-swallowing demon flame? The god of the northern underworld asked. Yes, god of the northern underworld, I want to buy the heaven-swallowing demon flame. Yi Tian nodded. 1 million eternal boundary stones, there must be nothing less. If you can take it out, take the heaven-swallowing demon flame. The North Nether Realm said divinely. $7. With a wave of Yi Tian's hand, he took out 1 million eternal boundary stones. This is because he recently asked the Holy Kingdom of Human Race to sell various resources, so he managed to get together 1 million eternal boundary stones. Seeing that Yi Tian really took out 1 million eternal boundary stones, the god of the northern underworld was extremely surprised. Because even if it is a powerful force, it will not be able to get 1 million eternal boundary stones, unless it sells off the entire family property of the powerful force, it will be able to get 1 million eternal boundary stones. For you, the god of the northern underworld took out a black stone, which was actually not a real stone, but a black stone formed by the superimposition of countless prohibitions, and the heaven-swallowing demonic flame was sealed inside. If not, the gods of the northern underworld would not dare to directly hold the heaven-swallowing demon flame. Immediately, Yi Tian exchanged deals with the northern underworld god. Wow, Yi Tian left, but the god of the northern underworld did not engage in the business of killing people and stealing goods. However, Tushan has been cautious. But from the beginning to the end, the gods of the northern underworld did not attack him, nor did other gods attack him. It seems that the gods of the northern underworld are not going to do anything for 1 million eternal boundary stones. Yi Tian murmured, the holy country of the human race. Yi Tian is back. Immediately, he broke the restriction on the black stone bit by bit. Gradually, streaks of black light appeared on the stone, and the whole stone spread out layer by layer like a lotus flower. 10 floors, 100 floors, Melaleuca, 10,000 layers. Hundreds of thousands of layers of restrictions were completely lifted, and only then did I see the heaven-swallowing demon flame. In an instant, Yi Tian's eternal Tao seed swallowed the heaven-swallowing demon flame, and used the eternal Tao seed demon to breed 010 to nourish the sky-swallowing demon flame, so that he could completely control the sky-swallowing demon flame, otherwise he would not be able to use the heaven-swallowing demon flame to refine the infinite soldiers from the upper realm. 1. Yi Tian completely controlled the heaven-swallowing demon flame. With the heaven-swallowing demon flame, the materials and the method of forging the Supreme Realm soldiers are also available. Next, you can refine the Supreme Realm soldiers' sky spear. Refining Supreme Realm soldiers is very dangerous. Therefore, Yi Tian specially built a void to refine the Tianyan spear, the Supreme Soldier, to prevent it from affecting the holy kingdom of the human race. Let's start. Yi Tian manipulated the heaven-swallowing demon flame to smelt various materials such as Tianmai demon gold, and many materials were refined by him, and then forged according to the forging method of Tianyan spear. Refining the Tianyan spear consumes a lot of energy and takes a long time. As time went by, Yi Tian's cloned body couldn't hold on anymore. After all, this is refining the Supreme Realm soldiers, which actually requires the cultivation of a high-level spring god to be able to sustain it. Yi Tian's combat power is comparable to that of a high-level world god, but it does not mean that his cultivation and persistence have reached the level of a high-level world god. So, he gradually couldn't hold on anymore. However, when his copy body couldn't support it, his other copy bodies took over and continued to refine the Tianyan spear. Chapter 3066 Medium Power, Relocate 10 Human Races to the Eternal Kingdom. Time flies. Yi Tian insisted on refining the Tianyan spear, spent a long time, and finally refined the Tianyan spear. Boom! The aura of the Tianyan spear permeated the air, causing this void to shatter. Yi Tian hurriedly refined the Tianyan spear, and gradually calmed down the breath of the Tianyan spear. Afterwards, holding the Tianyan spear, he rehearsed his moves and found that his strength had increased a lot. At least 3 times the combat power. Yi Tian murmured. At his level, it is extremely difficult to increase his strength every bit, let alone triple his combat power. The Supreme Realm soldier is not only a matter of improving combat effectiveness, but can also penetrate the enemy's defense. For example, a high-level demon species has a high physical defense. If he can't penetrate the opponent's defense, it will be difficult to hurt the opponent. However, the Tianyan spear can penetrate the opponent's defense. The meaning is completely different. It's no wonder that every high-level world god and high-level demon species is eager to obtain a piece of Supreme World soldiers. Yi Tian murmured, if such a piece of Supreme Realm soldier is sold, it can definitely be sold at a high price of tens of millions of eternal boundary stones. But no one would sell a piece of Supreme Realm soldier, that would be too stupid. Receive. With a thought in Yi Tian's mind, Yi Tian put away this supreme weapon and placed it in the Eternal Tao Seed. It's a pity that the Supreme Realm soldiers can't temper the Eternal Tao Seed. Yi Tian regretted. This thing is a simple weapon, which is used to increase combat power, and it does not help cultivation. But if it is omnipotent, it would be too heaven-defying. Therefore, Yi Tian didn't pay too much attention to this aspect. Another long period of time has passed. Yi Tian's mysterious devouring magic crystal substance is almost exhausted, but his Eternal Tao Seed still hasn't been raised to the current limit. Obviously, with his current cultivation base, it is too difficult to quickly raise the Eternal Tao Seed to the limit, and the resources consumed are far beyond what he can imagine now. This day, there is a message from Jieding. Assessment of Medium Forces Notification. This news is for the human race Holy Nation to be rated as a medium power. Once the assessment is successful, the human race Holy Nation will be able to declare it as a medium power in the future. But in fact, the Holy Kingdom of the human race now has a lot of world gods, and they are all qualified to evaluate powerful forces. However, it must be rated as a medium power before it can apply to become a strong power. So on this day, Yi Tian took some world gods to the headquarters of Jieding to conduct a medium power assessment. Jieding headquarters. When Yi Tian came here, the world god of the first-level peak of the Eternal God realm in the headquarters of Jieding, Baihei Jishin received Yi Tian, and brought Yi Tian and the others to the place where the medium power was assessed. Yi Tian World God, it is very simple to evaluate a medium power, that is, the number of world gods in the power needs to reach more than 10, and at least 3 or more are the first-level world gods of the Eternal World God realm, and have certain industries, the territory and so on, so that it can be rated as a medium power. The Baihei realm god is very polite to Yi Tian. After all, Yi Tian is a middle-level cultivator of the Eternal Realm God realm. He also knew that the holy nation of human race would definitely become a middle-level power, and this time it was just a formality. Immediately, Baihei realm god asked Yi Tian and the others to break into the realm god tower, which is a place to test the strength of the realm god, and passing a certain level is considered a pass. Xingqian, Linli, you just have to go for it. Yi Tian said lightly. Yes, Father. Yes, Master Yi Tian. These world gods rushed in one after another, and quickly completed the assessment and reached the standard. In addition, this time, the number of world gods in the Holy Kingdom of human race met the requirements. Example. But, before leaving, Yi Tian asked, Baihei realm god, what requirements does the Holy Kingdom of the human race need to meet if it wants to become a powerful force? Baihei realm god hurriedly said, Yi Tian realm god, if the Holy Kingdom of human race wants to become a powerful force, it must control the territory of 10 eternal kingdoms. Elementary world gods, more than 100 ghosts and gods. Yi Tian did some calculations, and the number of the first-level gods in the Eternal Realm has not yet reached the standard, but the middle-level gods of the Eternal Realm have far reached the standard, and the number of gods in the Eternal Realm has also reached the standard, and the territory has not reached the standard. At present, if the holy nation of human race wants to expand its territory, the first way is to subdue other forces and incorporate the territories of other forces into its own territory. At the beginning, Zhu Rishan wanted to subdue the holy kingdom of the human race, and it was also preparing for his future impact on powerful forces. It's a pity that Zhu Rishan found the wrong partner, which caused Zhu Rishan to suffer a lot. Yi Tian is not interested in subduing other forces, which will make the race's forces become mixed. Therefore, he would rather relocate the several eternal kingdoms of the Endless Kingdom Alliance to the realm of the gods, so as to satisfy the problem of territory and territory. Then, Yi Tian asked, "Bai He Jishan, let the eternal kingdom of the eternal kingdom move to the Jishan kingdom, how many places are there now?" He knew that Jishan kingdom would release some quotas every once in a while, and the eternal kingdoms that met the requirements could be relocated to Jishan kingdom. Sometimes, even if quotas were given, there might not be any eternal kingdoms that met the requirements. Currently there are still 18 quotas. Bai He Jia said. "I want 10 places. Yi Tian said. 10 places. World God Bai He was surprised. Yi Tian World God, if you want 10 places, you need a lot of battle points. My record points should be enough. Yi Tian said. He got a lot of battle points before, but he hasn't used them up yet, and he hasn't exchanged them for anything later, so it should still be enough. I'll check it out. Bai He Jishan went to investigate. Soon, Bai Nuohao He Jishan said. Yi Tian Jishan, your record points are indeed not enough. Are you sure you want 10 eternal kingdoms to move to the quota of Jishan's country? Sure, Yi Tian nodded. Immediately, Bai He Jishan applied for Yi Tian. Not long after, the application was successful. Yi Tian successfully obtained 10 tokens, representing the 10 eternal kingdoms. At that time, the gods of the Jieting court will assist the human race to relocate the 10 eternal kingdoms to Jeyu, the kingdom of the gods. Yi Tian World God, please choose a location. The Shinto of the White River Realm. Here it is. Yi Tian divided some ruined areas near the holy kingdom of the human race into his territory. These ruins are as large as 10 eternal kingdoms, which is why he wants to exchange 10 eternal kingdoms for relocation quotas. Because if there are too many, they will not be able to fit in, so they must be separated. Therefore, it is enough to relocate 10 eternal kingdoms. Chapter 3067 Completely destroy Tianhe Dao Mountain. This day, Jieting's Bai He Jishan and many other world gods came to the vicinity of the holy kingdom of the human race and stood at the designated location, assisting Yi Tian to relocate the 10 eternal kingdoms of the human race to the location of the world of the gods. Yi Tianji God, let's begin. Bai He Realm God said. The Terran Endless Kingdom Alliance sighed. The 10 eternal kingdoms that have already been selected are starting to move at this moment. This time, many half-steps of the Eternal Realm God Realm will enter the Realm God Realm together with these 10 eternal kingdoms. Exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark. With the help of the Eternal Kingdom Decree, the Eternal Kingdoms were shielded by masks, separated from the Endless Kingdom Alliance, and entered the realm of the gods along the cracks. Soon, bang, one after another, the Eternal Kingdoms descended near the Holy Kingdom of the human race, covering the ruins. Gradually, 11 eternal kingdoms of the human race occupied this area and became a huge territory of the human race in the realm of the gods. Yi Tianji God, let's count the situation. The Shinto of the White River Realm. It is good. Yi Tian nodded slightly. Soon after, Bai He Jishan and the others completed their statistics, and they will be able to set up the sighting headquarters. In the next 370 days, these half-step eternal realm gods who came from the eternal realm joined the human race holy nation chamber of commerce one after another, so that they would have a better chance to obtain more resources. Moreover, the human race holy nation chamber of commerce is still buying the mysterious magic crystal material, even if the effect is not very good, but it can collect as much as it can. After the human race has become a middle-level force, there is one advantage, that is, it can go out of the East Wu border to do business. In the past, non-medium forces, no matter how powerful the human race was, were not allowed to go to other realms to do business, and could only go to other realms to trade in an individual way. Certainly, medium powers don't dare to trade in other realms. After all, middle powers are too weak. How dare powers cover two big realms? Unless it is a medium force that happens to be at the junction of the two worlds, it will do business in the two worlds. After becoming a medium power, there is another advantage, that is, you can go to eternal national thought without applying. Each medium power has several quotas. As long as these quotas are not exceeded, the realm gods can freely travel between the eternal realm and the realm god realm, but they need to enter the eternal realm through a specific passage. Because of this, there is almost no need to apply for the world gods of medium power, strong power, and top power. Otherwise, if you have to apply, the staff of sighting will be too busy. However, Yi Tian still wants to develop the human race into a powerful force as soon as possible, because only when they become a powerful force can they enjoy many privileges. For example, building a trading area, similar to Moyan Valley in Momen. Of course, after becoming a powerful force, the biggest advantage is that it has entered the high-level circle of the East Wu border. The ability to obtain opportunities and intelligence is not comparable to that of medium forces. For example, the human race is only a medium force now, and many information cannot be obtained in time. What's more, powerful forces can also recommend the gods of the world to work in the headquarters of the World Court. All the gods in the World Court come from powerful forces and top forces. The world gods of medium power are not qualified to work in the headquarters of the World Court, even the most trashy ones. The position is not something that a middle-level world god can hold. Because of this, Yi Tian wanted to become a powerful force, and let a world god enter the headquarters of the World Court to take a certain position, so that he could get some important information at the first time. Currently, the human race only lacks some beginners in the eternal realm god realm, so they can be ranked among the powerful forces. Yi Tian thought to himself. He is going to use more resources to cultivate the realm gods of the human race. Several realm gods have also improved their eternal Tao seeds, and they are not far away from the current limit. They can be trained so that they can raise the eternal Tao seeds to the level as soon as possible, current limit. Certainly, he has one more thing to do. Tianhe Dao Ahff Mountain, it's time to wipe out this power. Yi Tian murmured, Tianhe Daoshan, now it has recovered a little bit, palaces are standing here again, and the injuries of the gods of Tianyi and Sanjia have also recovered. However, the strength of Tianhe Daoshan was weaker than before. Because, some world gods in eternal Taoist realms have left Li Tianhe Dao Mountain and joined other forces. They think that Tianhe Dao Mountain has provoked unknown enemies, so naturally they dare not stay in Tianhe Dao Mountain anymore. If they are attacked again a day later, they will not be so lucky to survive. For this situation, the God of Heavens can't stop it. After all, Shendu has joined other forces in those circles and has a backer, so he can't retaliate. But most of the world gods still did not leave, mainly because they were bound by vows and could not leave easily. This day, God of Heavens felt palpitations all over his body, as if a lot of things had happened. He immediately deduced it, only to feel the endless desperation. Not good. He immediately realized that something was wrong and was about to jump away from Tianhe Dao Mountain. But suddenly, a terrifying attack strikes! Exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark. The area of Tianhe Dao Mountain was directly smashed by the attack, and a large number of realm gods, half-step eternal realm gods, and eternal Tao realms were instantly reduced to ashes. And the god of the Pangaea realm was also severely wounded and dying, and so was the god of the heavenly Will realm. Ice Police World God. The god of heavens will recognize the assailant. He was a god who had condensed 5 eternal world gods, but wasn't this guy dead? Why did he gather 6 eternal world spirits and break through to the eternal god realm? Intermediate peak state. In fact, this is also a duplicate body of Yi Tian, and he happened to have met the god of the Ice Police world, who is also very close to the mid-level peak of the god realm of the eternal realm. So, after copying the body of the frozen world god, he tried to impact and condense the 6th eternal world spirit. He tried many times, but succeeded once by luck. Then, he attacked Tianhe Dao Mountain with the body of the frozen world god, which should be able to easily erase Tianhe Dao Mountain. Certainly, God of Heavens also thinks that this is not the real god of Ice Police. You are not the god of Ice Stack. You and the god of Ice who attacked us last time should be the same force. Who are you and why did you attack us again and again? However, no one answered him. Boom! Yi Tian shot again, killing the Celestial Realm God and the Second Armor Realm God directly. Immediately afterwards, Yi Tian erased everything here without leaving a trace, and then dispersed the duplicate body and turned into nothingness. When Jia Ting sent Jia Shen to investigate, nothing could be found. Chapter 3068 The human race has become a powerful force, the position of intelligence officer. Tianhe Dao Mountain is completely destroyed. Yi Tian is in a good mood. Although there are still some branches of Tianhe Dao Mountain and the world gods and eternal Taoists who are exposed to the outside world, after they learn that Tianhe Dao Mountain has been destroyed, they will never dare to rebuild Tianhe Dao Mountain and will definitely switch to other branches. Power. Therefore, Yin Dao Mountain is truly gone. If the gods of the will of heaven and the others are still alive, and they know that Yi Tian did it, they will absolutely regret finding the temple of the underworld to kill Yi Tian. If they didn't do this, Yi Tian wouldn't come to destroy Tianhe Dao Mountain. Another period of time has passed. On this day, a piece of good news came, that a first-level world god of the eternal world god realm was born in the Yi family of the human race. And that's just the beginning. In the years that followed, one after another, the eternal realm god realm condensed the eternal realm spirits, and their cultivation reached the first stage of the eternal realm god realm. Father, the human race has already born more than 10 first-level gods of the eternal realm god realm. Yi Xingchen came to report. I see. Yi Tian nodded, and immediately notified the Jieding headquarters that the human race wanted to apply to become a powerful force. Different from the last time, you need to go to the Jieding headquarters to apply for a medium power, but to apply to become a powerful force, the Jieding headquarters sends the gods over, and you don't need to go to the Jieding headquarters. Soon, the world god of Jieding came. Baihe realm god is still in it, but it is not him who presides over it, but a middle-level world god of the eternal realm god realm, Dongchen realm god. Dongchen realm god has gathered 4 eternal world spirits. Although the strength is not strong, it is no problem for the human race to be promoted to a powerful force this time. After all, they are not here to fight, but just to test the strength of the human race. The holy country of the human race. After Dongchen world gods and the others came, they counted the number and realm of the human race's world gods. After all registrations, they had to test their real strength. If they were false world gods made by some kind of treasure, this kind of behavior to full seating was naturally not allowed. After testing again and again, they finally had to test the mid-level battle strength of the god realm in the eternal realm. Yi Tian still didn't make a move, and asked his son Yi Xingchen to make a move, and he injured Dongchen world god with one move, and this was recognized. That's it. The human race was successfully promoted to one of the powerful forces. Yi Tian, congratulations to your human race, you have successfully promoted to a powerful force. You have 5 quotas to enter the eternal realm and the realm of the gods at will, and you can also send a realm god to join the realm court. Of course, a powerful realm god will enter the realm, can only choose some ordinary positions. Dongchen Jishan said. What jobs are available? Yi Tian asked. Dongchen Jishan introduced. The general positions in the Jieding headquarters include patrollers, clerks, intelligence officers, goalkeepers, and chores, etc., and they are clerks, who specialize in handling the relocation of the Eternal Kingdom and related affairs. I want an intelligence officer position. Yi Tian said. Dongchen Jia said. Yi Tian Jishan, the position of an intelligence officer is very popular, so if you want this position, you not only need the first-level cultivation of the Eternal Realm God Realm, but also need to give the Jieding headquarters 10,000 Eternal Boundary Stones. 10,000 Eternal Boundary Stones. Yi Tian frowned, the price is too high. Ordinary powerful forces are also reluctant to take out so many Eternal Boundary Stones. But soon, he figured it out. The position of intelligence officer is not for ordinary powerful forces at all, but for those powerful forces with a certain background. A really good position must require a certain price, otherwise you can only choose an ordinary position. Okay, I want an intelligence officer position. Yi Tian said. Because the value of the position of an intelligence officer is really high, collecting information at the Jieding headquarters can completely pass the information on to the people. This is probably a default, otherwise such a high fee will be charged. Therefore, 10,000 Eternal Boundary Stones are worth it. Yi Tian Jieshi, please come with me to the Jieding headquarters, and bring along the junior Jishan who is going to be an intelligence officer, and I will go through the entry procedures for him. Dong Chen ghostly said. It is good. Yi Tian selected a member of the Eternal Realm from the Yi family of the human race, who was at the beginning of the God Realm, and took him to the headquarters of the Jieding. After a while, the waiting headquarters collapsed. Then, Dongchen Jishan completed the formalities for Yi Tian and the others, and Yi Tian also paid 10,000 Eternal Boundary Stones. In this way, a world god of the human race officially began to serve as an intelligence officer at the headquarters of the World Court. And the human race has officially become a powerful force and has the treatment of a powerful force. 0. Seeking flowers. Time flies. Gradually, Yi Tian came to know the benefits and value of the position of intelligence officer. During this period of time alone, the value of all kinds of information passed on by the intelligence officer to the race is unimaginable. It can be said that these 10,000 eternal boundary stone flowers are worth a lot. Through this information, Yi Tian has a better understanding of the overall situation of the Jishin kingdom. For example, the basic situation of the major top forces in the entire realm of the gods, as well as the division of forces and so on. In the East Wu realm, the top forces seem to be very powerful, but they are nothing in the entire realm of the gods. Above the top forces, there are supreme forces. The Dongwu realm does not rank high in the entire Jishin kingdom, so there is no supreme power, but those powerful realms do have supreme power. 0. Moreover, the number of supreme forces in the entire realm of the gods has reached 3 digits, which shows how terrifying the entire realm of the gods is. In addition, Yi Tian also knew that the war between the realm of the gods and the abyss of the demons had never ended, but was fighting in a special area. But if you want to participate, at least you must be a top force, and powerful forces are not qualified to participate. Not even qualified to be cannon fodder. At present, the intelligence officer of the human race does not know where it is, mainly due to his insufficient status, which makes it impossible to understand the information. But after a long time, if you get familiar with other world gods, you may be able to understand. The human race is still a little transparent in the realm of the gods. Yi Tian murmured. He has also been asking the intelligence officer of the race to collect information on the material of the mysterious magic crystal devourer, and he believes that this information should be collected soon. Really, not long after, pieces of information about the substance of the black devouring demon crystal were sent to Yi Tian, and the information was complete. A lot of top forces are buying the black magic crystal, but the amount of purchase is not large. Yi Tian murmured. And according to this information, the most promising way for him to obtain a large amount of profound devouring demon crystals is to go to the gap between the Lake of the Phoenix realm. This boundary seam is very huge, and it contains a lot of materials such as the mysterious magic crystal ore, and it is also the 16th boundary seam that currently has the most materials such as the mysterious magic crystal ore. Chapter 3069 Huge Harvest, The Limit of Eternal Taoism. Phoenix Realm, Ryahu Boundary Crack. Yi Tian murmured. If there were no races serving as intelligence agents at the Jieding headquarters, it would be almost impossible for him to know this information. After all, the Phoenix Realm is far away from the Eastern Wu Realm, and there are 6 realms in between. Even if the human race Holy Nation Chamber of Commerce inquires about information, it is impossible to inquire about the information of the Phoenix Ghost Realm. There are a lot of mysterious magic crystals in the seam of the Liuhu boundary, you can go there. Yi Tian decided. Yi Tian shuttled continuously, crossed one realm after another, and soon arrived at the Phoenix Realm, and after inquiring, came to the seam of the Liuhu Lake. The Liuhu boundary seam belongs to that kind of very huge seam, so many top forces sit here. Fortunately, the human race has been promoted to a powerful force, otherwise, they will be intercepted and not allowed to enter Liuhu 6U when they come here. The 950 censorship here is very strict, and a barrier of world gods not only prevents demons from intruding into the realm of the world gods, but also prevents unknown world gods from randomly intruding into the cracks of the Liuhu boundary. After Yi Tian declared his identity, he was able to enter the gap between Liuhu Lake. Wow! At the gap between Liuhu and Yi Tian came in. His goal is very clear, that is to collect the material of the mysterious devouring demon crystal. If he can kill more demons, then kill more demons. Immediately, Yi Tian copied several bodies, so that he would not have to rush back after falling. Afterwards, Yi Tian discovered that there were many mid-level monsters in the gap between Liuhu Lake, and even high-level monsters were not very rare. Yi Tian struck out one after another, beheading several mid-level monsters, and collected a lot of mysterious magic crystal material from these mid-level monsters, which is a big harvest. In the next few days, every time Yi Tian collected some of the black devouring crystals, he would send them back to another duplicate body to ensure the safety of these black devouring crystals. This day, Yi Tian encountered a high-level demon and wanted to surround and kill him. But after only fighting for a few breaths, many high-level demons shuttled over. He had no choice but to retreat, otherwise he would not be an opponent. After all, he didn't carry the Tianyan spear of the Supreme Realm Soldier, and he was also worried that if he fell here, the Tianyan spear would be lost, and the gain would outweigh the loss. Therefore, his current combat power is comparable to ordinary high-level demons. Hey, there's a small mine of the dark devouring demon crystal here. Yi Tian said in surprise. This is the first time he came here and found the mine veins of Xuan demon crystal, but there are already demon seeds mining. He directly attacked, killed the demon seeds here, and robbed the ore of the mysterious devouring magic crystal here. But soon, there will be a high-level demon seed coming. He tried his best to escape with serious injuries under the siege of 3 high-level demons. When he came to a safe place, Yi Tian took a look at what he had gained. 3,600 pieces of ore, the amount is not bad. Yi Tian is very satisfied. But these mysterious devouring magic crystal ores alone are still not enough. He still needs more mysterious magic crystal material to raise his eternal Tao seed to the current limit. Moreover, his wife and children also need this substance, so collect more. The years passed. In the following years, Yi Tian gained very little each time, and there were many times when he was besieged by high-level demons, but each time he escaped with serious injuries. It is not so easy for him to fall when his combat power reaches a high-level world god. The harvest is small every time, but the accumulation of many times, the harvest is naturally huge. This day, Yi Tian encountered a high-level demon whose strength was far superior to his. It is a high-level demon species that can condense 8 eternal world spirits. Yi Tian felt his whole body trembling. The strength of this high-level demon species was far beyond what he is now. What's more, the opponent also has a supreme encircling soldier in his hand. That is a scimitar-type supreme soldier. Swish! The high-level demon came to kill him, and the Japanese knife tore him. At this moment, Yi Tian has been completely locked. Even if he uses the Tian Yan Peng Light technique, he cannot escape. However, he still tried his best to activate the Tianyan Scale Armor Art and the Tianyan Black Tortoise Armor, but neither of these 2 perfect Eternal World Spirit Arts could withstand the blow of this high-level demon. Puff! The 2 perfect Eternal Spirit Arts were easily torn apart. In an instant, his body was cut off, and a terrifying force was burning everything in his body. Before dying, he burned the Eternal Tao Seed and cast a spell on the opponent. But this blow only made the opponent take a step back, that's all. Boom! Copy the body and die. A high-level demon seed that condenses 8 eternal world spirits is indeed extremely powerful. Yi Tian murmured, these high-level demon species, together with the Supreme Realm soldiers, are enough to kill him instantly. Even if he is also holding the Supreme Realm weapon, he is definitely not an opponent, and he cannot block a move. Unless he can raise the Eternal Tao Seed to the limit, and then condense the 6th perfect Eternal World Spirit, he can hope to compete with the opponent 1 or 2. Hundreds of millions of years have passed since the Tao era. Yi Tian fought countless times in the gap between Liuhu and fell 3 times. He has been targeted by high-level demons. Therefore, he is not going to stay here any longer. Get out! Yi Tian left directly from the seam of the Liuhu boundary, and will not come in again for the time being. Unless he waits for his cultivation to reach the mid-level peak of the Eternal Realm God Realm, the regiment will enter here again. The holy country of the human race. Yi Tian is back. He sorted out what he had gained at the Liuhu boundary seam this time. The 168,000 pieces of the ore of the occult magic crystal ore, plus other materials of the occult phagocytic crystal, if converted, it is equivalent to obtaining more than 300,000 pieces of the ore of the occult magic crystal ore. Moreover, there are many other resource materials, the payoff is huge. Among them, most of the resources are obtained from him fighting against the demons. After all, in these years, he has killed quite a few mid-level monsters in 1.7, and even intercepted and killed a severely injured high-level monster. Those 3 high-level monsters were all severely injured in battles with other high-level world gods. He happened to meet them and beheaded them. Otherwise, he would not be able to obtain so many resources. In the days that followed, Yi Tian devoted all his energy to extracting the material of the black devouring demon crystal, and then refining it to improve his own eternal Tao seed. However, the effect of the mysterious magic crystal substance on him is already very low, but if the quantity is enough, it still has a good effect. With the continuous consumption of the mysterious magic crystal material, Yi Tian's eternal Tao seed has been improved a little bit, making the eternal Tao seed gradually grow stronger, and it is getting closer and closer to the current limit. After 50 billion to Tao era years. This day, Yi Tian's eternal Tao seed has finally reached its current limit. Chapter 3070 Breakthrough in Cultivation, Soaring Strength. Finally raise the eternal Tao seed to the current limit. Yi Tian said excitedly. In this way, he can condense the 6th perfect level eternal world spirit. Once the condensing is successful, his cultivation base will also be promoted to the peak of the middle level god realm of the eternal world, and his strength will be greatly improved. At that time, his combat power will be comparable to the 8 high-level world gods of eternal world spirits. Afterwards, he began to retreat to attack the 6th perfect level eternal world spirit. He thought he could easily condense and succeed, but he didn't expect that after preparing a lot of resources, he still failed. Obviously, the success rate of condensing the 6th perfect level eternal world spirit is not very high. Even for a treasure like the eternal realm spirit fruit, it is difficult to increase the success rate much. Among the realms of the world gods, among those world gods who condensed the eternal world spirits, which one did not fail a few times? Some even failed dozens of times, relying on endless years to hit the bottleneck again and again. This is the only way to successfully condense the eternal spirit. There are even many world gods who failed to break through, causing the eternal 07 eternal Tao seed to transform into a demon seed. Because of this, many world gods have passed through endless years, and their cultivation bases still have not changed. For someone like Etn to easily raise his cultivation to this level, it's simply too heaven-defying. If you fail once, recondense and copy the body, and continue to attack the second time. Yi Tian murmured. This time, he didn't prepare any resources, otherwise, if he failed, the resources would be wasted. Those resources might as well be reserved for their wives and children. After all, they have not duplicated their bodies. Once the impact fails, they will not be able to continue to gather the eternal world spirit for a long time. Therefore, he should use as little resources as possible for his subsequent breakthroughs. Unless there is no success rate at all, then he will prepare resources to assist the breakthrough. But obviously, the success rate of his current breakthrough cannot be 0. Therefore, as long as there are a few more impacts, there is a high probability that you will be able to break through. Failed twice. 5 failures. 10 failures. Finally, when he failed for the 12th time, he finally successfully condensed the 6th perfect level eternal spirit. The 6th perfect level eternal world spirit is the Tianyan giant ape world spirit. He used this perfect level eternal world spirit to attack Tianhe Dao mountain with the duplicate body of the spiritual world god. Now, Tianhe Daoist mountain has been destroyed, so he will not expose anything with this perfect level eternal world spirit. The success rate of condensing the 6th perfect level eternal world spirit is so low. When the 7th eternal world spirit is condensed in the future, the success rate will be even lower. Yi Tian murmured. But he is still far away from hitting the high-level world god cultivation base of the eternal world god realm, so he doesn't have to worry about this problem. The eternal Tao seed is weak. Yi Tian murmured. At this moment, he felt that his eternal Tao seed was weak to the limit. After all, he didn't use the treasures to assist breakthrough this time, so naturally he couldn't recover the eternal Tao seed. In the following days, Yi Tian slowly recovered the eternal Tao seed, trying to overcome this long period of weakness. After 10 billion to Tao era years. At this time, only then did Yi Tian's eternal Tao seed recover, and it was no longer weak. After that, he tried to refine the substance of the mysterious magic crystal to see if he could continue to upgrade the eternal Tao seed. But he frowned immediately. Useless, Yi Tian secretly thought. His eternal Tao seed is too powerful. In fact, it is no less than a high-level world god who condenses 8 eternal world spirits, so the magic-devouring magic crystal substance has completely lost its effect on him. Those mysterious magic crystals are useless to me. I should give them to my wife and children. They should be able to condense the first perfect level eternal spirit. Yi Tian murmured. Shortly thereafter, Yi Tian divided these mysterious magic crystals equally among his wife and 2 children. If he is free, he will go into the seam of the Liuhu lake to collect some black magic crystal material, supply his wife and son, and let them condense the 6th eternal world spirit. However, he also has to find resources for himself that can refine the eternal Tao seed, otherwise his cultivation will stagnate. If you rely on yourself to cultivate slowly and temper the eternal Tao seed little by little, even though the cultivation speed is many times faster than other world gods, but if you want to raise the eternal Tao seed to the current limit, it may take infinite years, an unimaginable time. Therefore, he still wanted to find a substance that could replace the black devouring demon crystal, as long as it was useful to him and would not damage the foundation of the eternal Tao seed. As for the issue of demonization, he doesn't need to worry about it. It's still necessary to let the human intelligence officer at Jieting headquarters collect more relevant information. Yi Tian murmured, but the position of the intelligence officer is still too low, and he may not be able to access too high information intelligence. Therefore, he himself has to try his best to find out information, or find resources that can improve his eternal Tao seed. And just like that, the years passed. From time to time, Yi Tian would go to the seam of the glazed lake boundary, kill some monsters and then come out. Naturally, he would get more and more mysterious magic crystals. This day, Yi Tian's wife, Xiao Yu, took the lead in condensing the 5th perfect level eternal world spirit, and her strength skyrocketed. Immediately afterwards, her daughter Yi Xingyu also completed a breakthrough, condensing the 5th perfect level eternal world spirit. And his son, Yi Xingchen, also broke through immediately after. 990 condensed the 5th perfect level eternal world spirit, but his strength is even stronger. After all, the eternal Tao seed is stronger, the foundation is stronger, and the combat power is naturally stronger. The strength of the three of them is concentrated in the middle-level peak world gods of the eternal world gods, but weaker than the high-level world gods of the eternal world gods. After all, when Yi Tian was at their level of cultivation, his fighting power was only comparable to that of ordinary high-level gods in the eternal realm, but their foundation was not as good as his, so their fighting power was naturally much lower. But as long as they don't encounter high-level gods and high-level demons in the eternal realm, they are invincible in the middle-level eternal realm. Eastern Wu Ancient Sect is going to hold a meeting, and all powerful forces have to send representatives there. Yi Tian frowned slightly after receiving the message from Dongwu Ancient Sect. The Dongwu Ancient Sect is the top power in the Dongwu realm, much stronger than the Taihei Sacred Sect in Jiashan. All matters large and small in the Dongwu realm are managed by the Dongwu Ancient Sect. Dongwu Ancient Sect has a certain right to speak in Jieding headquarters. Therefore, more than 100 powerful forces in the territory of Dongwu and the other 17 top forces will give face to the Ancient Sect of Dongwu. Dongwu Ancient Sect seldom holds such a meeting, this time there must be something very important, and it is necessary to go there. Then, Yi Tian went to Dongwu Ancient Zong by himself. Chapter 3071, The East Crow and Hasho 39, S. Seam. The Eastern Wu Territory, the most prosperous territory. This is the territory of Dongwu Ancient Sect. On this day, a group of powerful world gods rushed here from all over the Dongwu realm and entered the ancient city of Dongwu, the ancient sect of Dongwu. After Yi Tian came here, he was arranged a place to stay, and waited for the representatives of other powerful forces to come to hold a meeting together. Not long after, representatives of all powerful forces and top forces came. In a splendid hall, a world god sits here, and Yi Tian sits in a slightly remote position. After all, the human race is just an ordinary powerful force without much fame, so the ancient Dongwu sect naturally doesn't pay much attention to him. Soon, a high-ranking world god from Dongwu Ancient Sect came. I have seen the god of the ancient Ya world. All the gods said respectfully. This ancient world god is a high-level world god who has condensed 9 eternal world spirits. His combat power is extremely powerful, and his reputation is very loud in the entire East Wu realm. Ji Yuya Jishan said, "Everyone, all the powerful and top-notch forces in the entire Eastern Wu realm have been summoned this time, and there are 10 important matters to discuss." Important things. Those top forces knew about it, but those powerful forces didn't know what happened, and they were still puzzled. Ji Yuya Jia Shen continued, "You should know that the demon seed abyss invaded our realm of the gods before. In fact, we still suffered a loss in that battle. And the war has never ended. Of course, this has nothing to do with your powerful forces, and you are not qualified to participate." Quote. But this time, more than a dozen of our top powers in the Eastern Wu realm suffered a lot in one battlefield. In addition, that battlefield only allows entry to the middle-level god realm of the eternal realm. If a high-level realm god enters, the strength will be greatly reduced. It was suppressed very badly, and there is a possibility of being besieged by middle-level demons. In order to recover the loss, a dozen of our top forces allow your powerful forces to participate. Backquote. After saying these words, these powerful forces were not excited, but worried. After all, if you participate, you will have to send middle-level world gods in, and you may suffer heavy losses. Ji Yuya Realm God knew the thoughts of these powerful forces, so he said again, "Don't think this is a bad thing. That battlefield is a treasure, otherwise, a dozen of our top forces would not participate. Why are the top forces so powerful? To be able to give birth to high-level world gods, this treasure land has a certain effect. There are treasure resources that can help gather eternal world spirits, and even treasure resources that can quickly refine the eternal Tao seed. For example, you all want the extreme sun blood gold. What, there is sun and crooked there?" Many middle-level world gods were shocked. Extreme sun blood gold is one of the resources that can quickly refine the eternal Tao seed of the middle-level world gods. This kind of resource genichi has always been controlled by the top forces, and only occasionally reveals a piece or two, but it still allows many powerful forces to compete crazily. It can be said that they are desperately trying their best. Lord Ji Yujia, our Julie sect is willing to participate in it, said a middle-level world god representative of Julizong. The Nine-Tile sect is a powerful force, but it can be regarded as the top rank among the powerful forces, because the Nine-Tile sect has dozens of mid-level world gods, among which there are 5 middle-level gods in the eternal ghost and god realm. It can be said that the strength of Julizong is very close to the top forces. But for countless years, Julizong has not become a top force, and there is even no hope in sight. Therefore, they must seize this opportunity. The Glacier Alliance is willing to join. Xingyu Holy Gate is willing to join. Momen is willing to join. Every powerful force chooses to join, and Yi Tian is naturally willing to join. He felt that there might be resources in this battlefield that could refine his eternal Dao seed, and if he found it, he would make a lot of money. However, not all powerful forces are willing to join. There are some powerful forces whose strength has barely reached the level of a powerful force. There are not many Shendu in the middle class, and they are all weak. Therefore, these powerful forces chose to give up. Soon, Yi Tian finally knew where this battlefield was. Open black lens bracket. The realm of the seam, close black lens bracket. The realm of the gap is the intersection of the eternal kingdom, the realm of the gods, and the abyss of demon seeds. There are a large number of gap realms and countless resources, and it is also a treasure land for top forces to compete for. Basically, each realm corresponds to a boundary seam, and forces like the Dongwu realm are not allowed to enter other seam realms. The top-level seam realm does not limit the strength of high-level world gods and high-level demons, but the seam world that Dongwu realm participates in is relatively weak. It does not suppress the strength of middle-level world gods, but suppresses high-level world gods. High-level world gods and high-level demons. And this boundary seam is also named as the Eastwu boundary seam boundary by Dongwu boundary area. Every top power has an entrance to the seam of the Eastwu boundary, but this time the top powers such as Dongwu Ancient Zong will rebuild an entrance somewhere in the Eastwu boundary to allow other powerful forces to enter. Soon, these powerful forces have all left, but Dong Zajoshan and other high-level world gods of the top forces have not left. Guya Realm God, these powerful forces are involved. I don't know if they can reverse the weak. If it can't be reversed, then we can only ask the Jieting headquarters to ask for help from other realms, but it is not a last resort. You can't do this, otherwise it will be too embarrassing. Let these powerful forces take the lead first. If it really doesn't work, then ask for help. No matter how embarrassing you are, you can't lose a boundary seam. 17. The holy good country of the human race. After Yi Tian came back, he waited for the news from Dongwu Ancient Sect. Once the entrance to the seam of Dongwu boundary was built, he would go there immediately. After a period of time, the Dongwu Ancient Sect reported that the entrance had been built. It's over. Yi Tian went over immediately, and arrived at the entrance of the eastern Wu Jiepeng within a short time. At this time, many middle-level gods had already arrived here, but they didn't go in immediately, but were going to wait for the other gods to arrive, and then go in together. Let's all go in. Yi Tian and other world gods shuttled in one after another. After entering, they realized that they had come to an ancient city. Countless formations were built in this ancient city, and it should be the base camp of more than a dozen top forces in the Eastern Wu realm. P.S. The author is overjoyed, and wrote a chapter with a fever, and I will update it today. Chapter 3072 Inexhaustible World of Seams. There are many mid-level world gods here, and even high-level world gods. Although the high-level world gods will be suppressed by a lot of strength here, they will still be stronger than the middle-level world gods. If there is no high-level world god sitting here, this place will definitely be breached by high-level demons. There are really many middle-level world gods in the top forces, and a dozen top forces can casually send so many middle-level world gods into the gap between the East Wu world. Yi Tian thought to himself. If the powerful forces were to send middle-level world gods, each powerful force would not be able to dispatch many middle-level world gods. If they barely reach the power of the powerful forces, how could they dare to send just a few middle-level world gods? It has to be said that the gap between the powerful forces in the eastern Uzbekistan realm and the top forces is too great, like a world of difference. But it's normal, because it is difficult for powerful forces to obtain more resources in the East Wu boundary, but the top forces are different. They can obtain a lot of resources in the seam of the East Wu boundary, and these resources are enough for them to cultivate. There are a large number of middle world gods and even high-level world gods. Because of this, the strength of the top forces far exceeds that of the powerful forces. But this time, the middle-level world gods of the top forces suffered too much, and they were in a weak position. If this continues, the foundation will be wiped out. That's why they asked the mid-level world gods of these powerful forces to help. There are more than 100 powerful forces, and some of them also have many middle-level world gods. These middle-level world gods can also dispatch many middle-level world gods, which can reverse part of the situation. Asterisk 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 asterisk. After Yi Tian and the other middle-level world gods came here, they learned about the situation here. They dared to leave this ancient city after they learned something from the mid-level world gods of those top forces. It seems that the situation of those top forces is really not good. Yi Tian murmured. He observed that almost all the middle-level world gods who stayed here were injured, and the injuries were not serious. In fact, they did not guard here, but stayed here to heal their injuries. It is estimated that there are still many middle-level world gods and even high-level world gods who are still looking for resources in this seam of the Eastern Wu world to fight with the demons. Yi Tian didn't stay here, and left directly from here, and went to look for resources. Soon after, let's gather other cloned bodies here. Yi Tian looked around and found that this place is relatively remote, but it is very good here. Soon, Yi Tian AHFB gathered a duplicate body, which allowed the duplicate body to continue searching for resources. He condensed the duplicated body to prevent the duplicated body from being killed, so that he had no duplicated body. Then, he can only let the duplicate body from the outside come in again. Therefore, it is better to directly copy a copy body here. Of course, he doesn't think that he will be killed here. After all, his current strength is very strong, and he is a middle-level world god, so his strength will not be suppressed, and the experience of those high-level demons will be suppressed. Therefore, he has an absolute advantage. This is indeed the world of seams that the top forces are eager for. There are really a lot of resources. Yi Tian said in surprise. Because just now, he discovered a good thing. Open black lens bracket blood black fruit close black lens bracket. A total of 6 blood black fruits have grown on this blood black tree. This thing is a good thing that can temper the eternal Tao seed, but it is only of great help to middle-level world gods, not very useful to high-level world gods. His eternal Tao seed itself is very powerful, so for him, the effect of blood black fruit is limited, but if it is given to human beings, it is enough for those elementary gods to quickly refine the eternal Tao seed, or for middle-level gods to quickly refine the eternal Tao seed. Quickly upgrade the eternal Tao seed. The top forces and demons have collected countless years here, why do they find good things so easily? Yi Tian was very puzzled. He picked the 6 blood black fruits on the spot and stayed here for a while. Soon after, a realm god of the middle peak of the eternal god realm came here, saw Yi Tian, and saw the blood black fruit tree from which the blood black fruit had been picked, turned and left without saying anything. Seeing this scene, Yi Tian frowned slightly. The other party seemed to know that there were blood black fruits here, so he came here to pick them up. He stared at the blood black fruit tree again, stared at it carefully, and deduced it silently, and suddenly made an astonishing discovery. This blood black fruit tree is about to bloom again. The efficiency of breeding blood black fruits is definitely countless times that of the outside world. That is to say, it is estimated that it is countless times easier to breed resources here than the outside world. This moment, Yi Tian finally understood why the resources in the cracked realm were so fast, as if they could never be exhausted. Under normal circumstances, the resources of those boundary seams or other treasure lands are limited. Once they are fully mined, it will take a long time to continue to breed. But the realm of the boundary crack is different. The resources here are very rich. Even if they are mined, they can be bred again after a period of time. Because of this, the resources here seem to be inexhaustible. The top forces didn't talk about this matter at all, and they didn't want to talk about it either. Yi Tian thought to himself. Maybe after the situation stabilizes, those top forces may prohibit powerful forces from staying here. It would be even better if no powerful forces discover the secrets here. Of course, other world gods are not stupid, and they might find out soon. A treasure land with inexhaustible resources, no wonder the top forces and demons are crazily vying for it. These boundaries are the real battlefields. Before the abyss of demons invaded the kingdom of God and the eternal kingdom, I guess it's all a joke. Yi Tian secretly thought. Thinking about it now, it was indeed a small fight. Those demons invaded the eternal border, and only a few demons were sent, not even a high-level demon. This is estimated to be a temporary decision of a small demon force in the demon abyss to invade the eternal border. In fact, demon seed abyss really doesn't care much about the eternal border. Even if they occupy the eternal national boundary, it is meaningless to them, and they dare not really destroy the eternal national boundary. At most, they just want to cause a little trouble for the realm of the gods, and take revenge by the way. The realm of the seam is definitely the place of hope for the rapid rise of me and the human race. Yi Tian murmured. Wow. After he left quickly, he continued to search for resources. Before long, he found something. Open black lens bracket extreme sun blood gold close black lens bracket. Before, those powerful forces came in because of this treasure, but they didn't expect to find it so easily here. And after finding this extreme sun blood gold, he encountered a demon. Chapter 3073 Huge Harvest. The demon seed, there is only one head. Yi Tian traveled across in an instant. From the perspective of aura, this demon should be the peak of the middle-level gods in the eternal world, and its strength should be very good. However, when he met Yi Tian, he was unlucky. The monster also spotted Yi Tian at this time, but it wasn't afraid. After all, Yi Tian's cultivation was the same as his, so he was naturally not afraid, so he also killed Yi Tian. However, as soon as they fought, the head lost consciousness in an instant. Die. With a pinch, Yi Tian directly exploded the body of this monster, killing him. Such a mid-level demon is too weak for him. After beheading this monster, Yi Tian took away the treasures on his body, and then continued to search for resources. The resources here are so abundant, Yi Tian is completely immersed in finding the king of resources. However, here, the chances of encountering monsters are not too high. After all, this place is huge, and there are only so many monsters. Weak monsters will not enter here. Just like the middle-level world gods of the top forces, there are only so many world gods, and the number is not many. But, many resources here are marked, and once conceived, there will be world gods or demons to snatch them, so when obtaining resources, you will often encounter demons or other world gods. And Yi Tian's strength is too strong, so when those monsters meet him, they will be instantly killed by him. Therefore, as time went by, Yi Tian found more and more resources from those monsters. Among them, there are many resource treasures that help to temper the eternal Tao seed and assist in the condensing of the eternal world spirit, and the harvest is getting bigger and bigger. Such a lot of resources are enough to train many middle-level gods in the eternal realm. Yi Tian murmured. Certainly, there is no way for other middle-level world gods to have such gains as him. He has killed a lot of middle-level demons. Otherwise, there is no way to obtain so many resources. And other mid-level world gods, even high-level world gods, couldn't collect resources as quickly as he did. This is Yi Tian's advantage. At the beginning, the demon seed abyss didn't realize the seriousness of the problem, but the mid-level demon seeds fell one by one, and even the news couldn't be sent out. After all, they were killed by Yi Tian in seconds, so there was no time to pass on the news. But now, many mid-level monsters can't be contacted, and they are sure to fall. The frequency of this fall is far more than that of throwing away. Therefore, they believe that there are high-level world gods hunting mid-level demon species, and there is a high probability that they are high-level world gods who have condensed 8 eternal world spirits, or even high-level world gods who have condensed 9 eternal world spirits. Even if the strength of these high-level world gods is suppressed, they are still much stronger than mid-level demons, and it is very easy to kill mid-level demons. So, some high-level monsters were dispatched, ready to kill Yi Tian. And the mid-level monsters also acted with the specification of more than 10 monsters, looking for resources and beheading the world gods. Ever since, the other world gods were miserable. They were caught off guard for a while and lost a lot of world gods. This day, Yi Tian encountered another team of monsters, a total of 11 mid-level monsters, all of whom were very strong. After Yi Tian appeared, he immediately shot and killed the 11 mid-level demons in an instant. It seems that these demons also realized that something was wrong, and suspected that there were high-level world gods hunting them down, so they let the middle-level demons gather together. Unfortunately, I am not a high-level world god, but I am even more terrifying than a high-level world god. Yi Tian smiled secretly. He took away the treasure resources from these monsters, and then left here. In the following days, Yi Tian collected and scraped resources while hunting and killing demon seeds, gaining a lot without any risk. Gradually, the resources he obtained are already massive. Shortly thereafter, Yi Tian let one of the duplicate bodies go out from the boundary seam, and brought these resources back to the holy kingdom of human race. The holy country of the human race. Yi Tian is back, and put some resources that will help the gods of the human race to upgrade the eternal Tao seed in the human temple, and let those human races use their contribution points to exchange them, and the price is set at a very low price. Certainly, more resources, he still gave his wife and children. Among the many resources he obtained this time, is the mysterious magic crystal material, which is enough to raise the eternal Tao seed of his wife and children to the limit. In addition, he also gave his wife and children a variety of treasures that can help condense the eternal world spirit, which can increase the success rate. 0. Seeking flowers. In this way, they will have a high success rate in attacking and condensing the sixth perfect world spirit in the future, and they may be able to break through successfully in one go. It would be great if the one-time breakthrough was successful. Certainly, even if the breakthrough fails, there is nothing wrong with it. Among the resources he obtained this time, there are resources that can restore the eternal Tao seed. Even if the damage caused by the breakthrough failure, the eternal Tao seed can be recovered within a certain period of time. Therefore, the harvest this time is enough for the race to take off quickly. Certainly, when exchanging resources from the human race temple, you need to make an oath, you must not leak it out, you must not publicize it, and after breaking through, you must act in a low-key manner. 0.0. Yi Tian still doesn't want his acquisition of massive treasures to be known by the dozen or so top forces in the Eastern Wu realm, otherwise everyone will know that he has obtained massive treasures in the boundary crack. There will definitely be some extinguishing methods. After all, many top forces are still not too eager for another top force to appear in the East Wu boundary. This time, although they let the powerful forces enter the boundary of the seam, they don't think that these powerful forces can rise. After all, they were suppressed in the process of fighting against the demons, and they were at a disadvantage. The middle-level world gods fell one by one, and it would be good if they didn't fall. It's simply too abnormal for Yi Tian to crazily collect and scrape resources. The boundary between the seams of Dongwu boundary. Yi Tian naturally came in again, and this time he entered only to let the other world gods see it. After all, he still has other duplicate bodies in the seam of the Eastern Wu boundary, and there is no need to re-enter it at all, this is just a pretense. This day, Yi Tian encountered a high-level monster, and the other party discovered Yi Tian and planned to kill Yi Tian. But after the fight, the opponent's expression changed. You, how is it possible? This high-level monster is only comparable to the high-level world god who condenses 7 eternal world spirits, and most of its strength is suppressed here, how can it be Yi Tian's opponent? Boom! Yi Tian pierced through the opponent's body with one shot, instantly killed him, then took away the resources and treasures on the opponent's body, and left quickly. Chapter 3074 Black Leaf Magic Gold. The fall of a high-level demon seed is naturally no small matter. Soon, other high-level demons came here, but they couldn't find Yi Tian. This high-level demon has a lot of treasures, much higher than the high-level demon I killed last time. Yi Tian murmured, it's normal to think about it carefully. This high-level demon has been fighting in this seam of the Eastern Wu realm, and how many resources it has collected is naturally not comparable to other ordinary high-level demons. It is estimated that in the abyss of monsters, not all high-level monsters are eligible to enter the realm of the seam. In the following days, Yi Tian attacked and killed several high-level demons, but he did not massacre high-level demons crazily. With his current strength, there is no need to kill too many high-level monsters in the seam of Dongwu boundary. He will only be targeted by those high-level monsters at 120 and be besieged. Once his strength is exposed, those top forces in the Eastern Wu territory will also follow him. And weakening the strength of the demons, the top forces in the East Wu realm will have no pressure, and perhaps all the powerful realm gods will be driven out. At that time, he will also be kicked out. He doesn't want to leave the seam of East Wu Ji now, there are too many resources here, and he still wants to get a lot of resources. Hey, what is this? Yi Tian found an item. This item is a black leaf, but it is not a normal leaf, because it is extremely hard, more like some kind of indestructible metal. Its texture is not even inferior to tea on my magic gold. Moreover, the high-level demon seed is not limited to this one black leaf, but has more than a dozen pieces, which are kept in a box and sealed, which is obviously very precious. Due to the high grade of this item, even his appraisal treasures could not appraise this item. But one thing is certain, that is, this treasure will turn Yongdao into a demon. He just touched it, and the breath on this black leaf tried to pour into his eternal Dao seed, thus demonizing his eternal Dao seed. Certainly, if Yi Tian went to block this breath, he could do it, but he didn't do that. After all, he wasn't afraid of the eternal Dao seed being transformed into a demon. In the ancient city of Dongwu Boundary Seam, Yi Tian met a high-level world god, who specialized in appraising various treasures and also bought various treasure resources, but he didn't need general resources. This high-level world god is named Zuo Shu World God, and he is a high-level world god of the top power Taihei sacred sect. After seeing Zuo Shu Jishin, Yi Tian took out a black leaf and gave it to him for identification. Of course, he sealed this leaf to prevent the breath from escaping, and transformed the eternal Tao seeds of other world gods into demon seeds. In that case, the top forces would trouble him and even attack him. When Zuo Zuji saw this leaf, his face immediately changed, and he said very solemnly, "Where did you get this thing?" "Obtained from a demon seed," Yi Tian explained. "That's right, only demons have this kind of thing." Zuo Zuji said divinely, "The appraisal fee for this thing is 10,000 eternal boundary stones, isn't it expensive?" "Not expensive," Yi Tian shook his head. "Although 10,000 eternal boundary stones are a huge fortune for powerful forces, they are really nothing in the eyes of top forces. Moreover, it is very expensive to identify resources and treasures at the level of high-level world gods or high-level monsters. Find other high-level world gods to appraise, because the probability is not lower than this price. Besides, he has already come to Zuo Shu's world god for identification, so it's not easy to go to other high-level world gods." Subsequently, Yi Tian paid 10,000 eternal boundary stones and handed them over to Zuo Shu boundary god. At this time, Zuo Shu Jishin directly stated the result. "This black leaf is actually not a leaf, but a rare material, black leaf magic gold. This kind of thing is useless to me, only it will turn our eternal Tao seed into a demon seed. Even I dare not carry the black leaf demon gold for a long time, let alone let it touch the eternal Tao seed. But for high-level demon seeds, the effect of black leaf demon gold it is very good, it can temper the eternal demon seed. But the black leaf magic gold is trying to quickly temper the eternal Tao seed in the process of trying to transform the demon seed into the eternal Tao seed. If it is the eternal demon seed, the effect will not be very good, but it won't be too bad. If you wear the black leaf magic gold for a long time, the effect will be fine. If you use the black leaf demon gold to refine the eternal Tao seed, what should you do?" Yi Tian asked curiously. He tried to put this thing into the eternal Tao seed, but it didn't have the effect of tempering the eternal Tao seed, otherwise he wouldn't come to Zuo Shu Realm God for appraisal. "Could it be that you still want to use it to refine the eternal Tao seed? Do you want to become a demon seed?" Zuo Shu was surprised, but after receiving the eternal boundary stone, he replied carefully, "Black leaf demon gold is different from other resources. Putting it into the eternal Tao seed will only make the eternal Tao seed demonized, and it is impossible to temper it to a little bit of the eternal Tao seed. The normal usage is to use a special secret method to extract a trace of the original source of the black leaf magic gold, introduce eternal Tao seed or eternal demon seed to achieve the effect of tempering. In addition, don't ask me what the secret method is, I don't know, and no high-level world god will study this." "Understood, thank God Shujia." Yi Tian said goodbye. After Yi Tian left, Zuo Shu world god shook his head. "Another mid-level world god who wants to quickly refine the eternal Tao seed, sooner or later he will become a demon seed. It turns out that a secret method is needed to absorb the original energy in the black leaf magic gold." Yi Tian suddenly realized. He even suspected that the high-level demon species he killed before might not have that kind of secret technique, or had that kind of secret technique, but he hadn't had time to refine the black leaf magic gold. He wants to obtain the secret method from the demon seed in 1.4, which is impossible. Therefore, he must rely on his own research to create this secret method. We have to send the black leaf magic gold out and study it again and again. Yi Tian decided. Soon, he went out again, and sent the resources and leaf gold he obtained this time to the Holy Kingdom of Human Race. Researched by the cloned body of the Holy Kingdom of the Human Race, he firmly believes that if he has done countless researches and creations, he can definitely create such a secret method, so that he can use the black leaf magic gold to temper his eternal Tao seed. If he can quickly refine his eternal Tao seed, then he will find a way to collect more black leaf demon gold. Unknowingly, Miao Yidao Ji Wu years passed. Chapter 3075 by Black Leaf Magic Gold. In the tens of billions of years to the Tao era, Yi Tian has studied the black leaf magic gold countless times. In the beginning, he really didn't study anything, and he couldn't use the original energy of the black leaf devil gold. However, after countless studies, he gradually grasped some of the mysteries, and he was not afraid of the influence of the black leaf demon gold on the eternal Tao seed at all, so he dared to try it randomly. In addition, he also had the Tianyan roulette for deduction, and finally let him research and create a secret technique that can absorb the origin of the black leaf magic gold. Yi Tian named this secret technique Black Leaf Secret Technique. Then, he used the Black Leaf Secret Technique to absorb the origin of the Black Leaf Magic Gold, and used it to refine his eternal Tao seed, to see how effective this secret technique is. Time passed. The effect of the Black Leaf Magic Gold is really good. Yi Tian was extremely excited. He finally found a treasure that could replace the Black Leaf Devil Crystal, but he also discovered that the origin of the Black Leaf Devil Gold is extremely overbearing. Even though his wife and children are perfect eternal Tao seeds and will not be transformed by demon seeds, their cultivation level is still a little bit short, and it is difficult to bear the origin of Black Leaf Devil Gold. If they want to refine the origin of Black Leaf Devil Gold, eternal Tao the foundation will be affected a little. 07. When they break through a little bit more, they can refine the source of the Black Leaf Magic Gold. It's a pity that there are too few sources of Black Leaf Magic Gold. Yi Tian murmured. In the 10 billion years to the Tao era, although he has collected a lot of resources in the seam of the East Wu boundary, he has not continued to attack high-level demons, and even if he attacks high-level demons, he may not be able to obtain Black Yi Mojin. How can I get a large amount of Black Leaf Magic Gold? Yi Tian is thinking about this question at the moment. If he doesn't have enough Black Leaf Magic Gold, he can't quickly improve his eternal Tao seed. But there is no doubt that such things as Black Leaf Magic Gold are very rare, and the amount is extremely rare. After much deliberation, he felt that he had to trade with other high-level world gods in order to obtain a large amount of Black Leaf Magic Gold. For example, the high-level world god Zuo Shu, who knows the Black Leaf Demon Gold, may have the Black Leaf Demon Gold on him. However, even if they can't use the Black Leaf Magic Gold, they won't give the Black Leaf Gold to other gods. Therefore, if you want to trade a large amount of Black Leaf Magic Gold from them, you have to take out the resources they need. In these years, I have obtained a lot of resources in the seam of Dongwu boundary and killed a lot of demons, many of which are helpful for the high-level world gods to temper the eternal Tao seeds and assist the high-level world gods to attack and condense the eternal world spirits. The resources are enough to make a high-ranking world god like Zuo Shu excited. Yi Tian thought so. But now there is a problem, that is, his purchase of such a large amount of Black Leaf Magic Gold will inevitably arouse doubts and even doubts among the high-level world gods, and it is estimated that there will be some thoughts in their hearts. In the eyes of high-level world gods, coveting a middle-level world god naturally feels that it can be easily handled. When the time comes, something bad is bound to happen. He will inevitably conflict with these high-level world gods, that would be bad. After much deliberation, it seems that there is only one way. That is to directly show strength and make the high-level world gods afraid. Although those high-level world gods would be more interested in him, they would never dare to attack him. After all, his own strength is very strong. The boundary between the seams of Dongwu boundary. Yi Tian no longer kept a low profile, and started killing those middle-level monsters, even high-level monsters. Somewhere, Yi Tian encountered 3 high-level monsters, and these 3 high-level monsters saw Yi Tian, and they were ready to deal with him at any time. However, they quickly became confused. Boom! Yi Tian directly showed his invincible strength, and killed the 3 high-level demons with 3 moves. As one demon species was killed after another, the demon species panicked and sent more high-level demon species. But this time, Yi Tian didn't hide, but directly challenged these high-level demons. This day, Yi Tian used his own strength to fight against dozens of middle-level peak monsters and 8 high-level monsters, including a high-level monster that condensed 8 eternal world spirits, beheading 6 high-level monsters. Other mid-level peak demons were also beheaded by him. Only the 2 high-level demons who love to rely on special treasures, so that Yi Tian didn't notice, can escape. And after this battle, Yi Tian's reputation spread throughout the cracks in the eastern Wu boundary, and the demons began to fear Yi Tian. In the ancient city of Dongwu boundary seam, Yi Tian is back. This time, a high-ranking world god came over, and they all came to visit him. In fact, one is to spy on the situation, the other is to make friends, and the third is to discuss something in Cation. Among them, including the Zuo Shu world god. Yi Tian chatted with them for a long time, and these high-level Shendu were very curious about why Yi Tian's combat power was so powerful, but he just bluffed the past and didn't reveal anything. However, what these high-ranking world gods finally discussed with him was to ask him to fully assist the top forces to snatch the seam of Dongwu, completely suppress the eternal Tao seeds, and let the eternal Tao seeds be completely suppressed here. Suppressing or even automatically giving up the idea of Dongwu seam. Yi Tian didn't fully guarantee it, he could only say that he would do his best. Immediately afterwards, Yi Tian said that he wanted to acquire the Black Leaf Magic Gold. Black Leaf Demon Gold, I do have it, but not much. Zuo Zuji said in a godly way. Some other high-level world gods also said that they have them, but not many. Everyone, how many do you have, and how much do I buy? Yi Tian said. Afterwards, he took out his own resources, all of which were useful to high-ranking world gods like Zuo Shu. 837. Zuo Shu's world god has been traded directly, but some high-level world gods have not yet been traded. In addition, there are relatively few high-level world gods who have entered the seam of Dongwu's boundary, and there will definitely be high-level world gods who will come to him for transactions in the future. After they left, they discussed each other. Why do you think Yi Tian bought the black leaf magic gold? Could it be that he has a way to absorb the source of the black leaf magic gold? Even if he has a secret method to absorb the source of the black leaf magic gold, the source of the black leaf magic gold will cause the eternal Dao seed to become a demon seed. Unless Yi Tian's practice is the perfect eternal Dao seed, he will not be absorbed by the black leaf magic gold source, influences. Yi Tian, it is unlikely that the world gods have the perfect eternal Dao seed inheritance. Among the world gods, there are only a few supreme forces that have the perfect eternal Dao seed inheritance. And the perfect level eternal Dao seed inheritance can only be passed on 9 times in total. After 9 inheritances, it can no longer be inherited. It is said that those top forces have exhausted the number of inheritances of the perfect level eternal Dao seed, and even broke the inheritance. How did Yi Tian get the perfect level eternal Dao seed inheritance? Quote. Anyway, the strength of Yi Tian's world god is already stronger than ours, and he deserves to be a high-level world god's combat power, which should not be underestimated. He must have gained a lot this time. It's a pity that I don't have the black leaf magic gold, otherwise I will definitely have to trade. They discussed in private for a while, and then went their separate ways. Chapter 3076 Reach an agreement with top forces. In the following days, another high-ranking world god came to Yi Tian for a deal. After all, they are naturally happy to exchange the black leaf magic gold they don't need for some useful resources. But Yi Tian clearly sensed that these high-ranking Shendu had a hint of peeping. However, he didn't care. He only needs to be able to trade the black leaf magic gold, nothing else matters. Not long after, Yi Tian obtained a lot of black leaf magic gold. But these black leaf magic gold may not be enough, but at least it can save Yi Tian's countless years of hard training time. In addition, the resources and treasures he obtained from the seam of Dongwu boundary are enough to allow his wife and children to raise the eternal Dao seed to the limit, and there is a great probability to condense the 6th perfect level eternal Dao ramp. In fact, his wife and children are already about to raise the eternal Dao seed to the limit. Really, not long ago, his wife Xiao Yu took the lead in raising the eternal Dao seed to the current limit. Then, Yi Tian has prepared enough resources for him, many of which can increase the success rate of condensing the eternal Dao seed. With the addition of many resources, and the fact that his wife is practicing the perfect level eternal world spirit inheritance method, the success rate is still very high of. After all preparations were made, Xiao Yu began to attack the mid-level peak of the God realm in the eternal realm, to condense the 6th eternal spirit. This time, Yi Tian personally guards, so that if there is any problem, he can also rescue it in time. But fortunately, nothing unexpected happened. Xiao Yu made a perfect breakthrough, and condensed the 6th perfect level eternal world spirit. Her cultivation reached the peak of the middle level God realm of the eternal world, and her combat power skyrocketed. Not long after, Yi Xingyu and Yi Xingchen also broke through one after another, condensing the 6th eternal world spirit, and their strength also skyrocketed. That's right, my wife and daughter have now reached the mid-level peak level of the God realm in the eternal realm, which is the same as me. Yi Tian murmured, if they go to the seam of Dongwu, they will definitely be able to sweep the invincible, unless they meet the most top-level high-level world gods, and when the strength of such high-level world gods is suppressed, it is possible to compete with them. But those high-level world gods dare not go in at will, and are easily besieged and killed. Certainly, Yi Tian will not let his wife and children enter there to fight, otherwise anyone will guess that the human race has 100% perfect eternal Taoist inheritance and perfect eternal world spirit inheritance. Now, they are only suspicious. After all, his fighting power can be explained by some kind of special treasure. But if all of them are like this, then it cannot be explained by treasures. At the same time, a large number of world gods of the human race were born, and several middle-level world gods with intermediate cultivation in the eternal world god realm appeared, and there were even more elementary-level world gods. It can be said that, apart from Yi Tian and others, the number and strength of the other gods of the human race are gradually comparable to some powerful forces. And this is just the beginning. As time goes by, the strength of the human race will improve by leaps and bounds. Because Yi Tian kept beheading the demon species in the seam of the East Wulong boundary, the strength of the monster species continued to decrease, which also reduced the pressure in the East Wulong boundary. Now there is no great pressure in the boundary of Dong Wulong, already able to contend against the demons of the abyss of demons. If things go on like this, even if they can't completely occupy the seam of the Dongwu border, they can still keep it here, and they don't need to ask for help from forces outside the Dongwu border. For them, this is also a very good situation. However, they are also very clear that the reason why they can achieve such a situation has something to do with Caitian. But they are not very happy to let the world gods of these powerful forces participate in and share part of the resources. Then, a group of high-ranking world gods approached Yi Tian, and Guoshan discussed a matter. I have seen the god of the ancient Ya world. Yi Tian met the god of ancient Ya. Unexpectedly, all the people from Dongwu ancient sect came. Yi Tian, we have something to discuss with you. Ji Yu Yaji said. At present, the situation in Dongwu Jiji is stable, and we don't need those powerful forces to participate. If we continue to participate, time will come. If it is too long, if you want to let them withdraw, you will definitely not agree. Let the powerful forces withdraw. Yi Tian frowned. At the beginning, the top forces couldn't hold back in the seam of Dongwu boundary, so let these powerful forces participate. In these years, many powerful forces have suffered heavy losses, and even the world gods of powerful forces have all been wiped out. But now, the top forces are about to cross the river and tear down the bridge, which is indeed too shameless. Just as Yi Tian retorted, Ji Yu Ya Jia Shen said again. Yi Tian Jia Shen, you can continue to stay in the gap between Dongwu, and you don't need to leave. Yi Tian said. Ji Yu Ya realm god, that is to say, besides me, other powerful factions have to leave the realm of Dongwu realm seam. Yes, Guya world god replied. There are quite a few powerful forces, and they have the supply of resources from the seam of Dongwu realm. They will give birth to many middle-level world gods in the future. When these middle-level world gods enter here again, it will inevitably rob a lot of resources, and the top forces are naturally not happy. But you are different, the human race will inevitably become a top force, and you will be one of us sooner or later, so it is naturally allowed to let you stay here. Guya realm god, I am here to stabilize the situation. Yi Tian directly pierced the deception of Ji Yu Ya realm god, and said bluntly. Ji Yu Ya world god was not embarrassed, he smiled slightly and said, Qian Nuo Jiao, that's true, but Yi Tian world god, you also obtained a huge amount of resources from here, we can also be regarded as a win-win situation. Yi Tian pondered for a while, but did not give an answer. But he is very clear that with his current strength, he is still unable to compete with these top forces in the Eastern Wu realm. For example, this Ji Yu Ya world god, it is impossible for him to be the opponent country now. It's just that he has not been suppressed in the seam of Dongwu boundary, so those high-level demons will be easily killed by him. But to the outside world, his strength is only a high-level world god comparable to the 8 eternal world spirits, not too powerful. FTLX 05501107K0214811351. He is not yet qualified to contend against top forces like Dongwu ancient sect, so there is no need to offend them. Moreover, he does not need to protect the interests of all powerful forces. Guya realm god, I agree. Yi Tian nodded and said. Chapter 3077 The Quiet Period of the Boundary Seam. Yi Tian agreed, making these high-ranking world gods nod slightly. Subsequently, the top forces represented by Dongwu ancient sect began to let those powerful mid-level world gods come out of the seam of Dongwu boundary, and they were not allowed to stay in the seam of Dongwu boundary. Certainly, these middle-level world gods can also choose to stay in the gap between Dongwu and hide, so that they don't have to come out. However, once they do this, the ancient city in the seam of Dongwu will not accept these mid-level world gods, and they will not be able to come back even if they are injured, and the final result is likely to fall. Therefore, once the top forces expel them, they dare not hide, they can only choose to come out. Not long after, powerful mid-level world gods from the East Wu realm came out from the cracks in the East Wu realm, and many of them were severely wounded and healed. This time, the powerful forces in the Eastern Wu realm suffered heavy losses, but almost all the mid-level world gods who survived gained, and the gains were not bad, and also got some opportunities to help myself break through. It can be said that in the future, these powerful forces may indeed cultivate several high-level world gods. However, this time, many powerful forces have fallen in the Dongwu border area. Among them, 3 powerful forces have directly fallen into the ranks of powerful forces and become medium forces. The strength of other powerful forces has also weakened a lot, and the overall power has greatly increased decline. Even if they obtain resources, it is still difficult to recover in a short period of time, and it will take a long time to recover their strength. This time, the real winner is naturally Yi Tian. He has obtained too many resources, and also allowed his wife and children to break through their cultivation bases, and their combat power has skyrocketed. Such gains are incomparable to other forces. Certainly, Yi Tian is not arrogant, he is still very low-key. After all, the current strength of the human race can only be compared to the weaker top forces, and the Dongwu realm is just one of the many realms in the realm of the gods, which is not worth mentioning at all. In the blink of an eye, another long period of time has passed. At this time, Yi Tian has already killed the quartet in the seam of the East Wu boundary, causing huge losses to the demons. Those high-level demons besieged and killed Yi Tian time and time again, but in a place like Dongwu Jiji, the strength of the high-level demons was suppressed so hard that they couldn't besiege and kill Yi Tian at all. Loss. For this, Yi Tian is very happy. The more high-level monsters come, the better, so that he can kill more high-level monsters and get more resources. Time flies. This day, Yi Tian found that the resources in the seam of the East Wu boundary suddenly decreased a lot, as if those resources had disappeared, which made him very puzzled. Then, he went to ask the world gods of other top forces, and got the house soon. Zuo Zuji told Yi Tianji, the resources in the seam of the Dongwu boundary will indeed be born quickly, far many times faster than the speed of the outside world, so the resources here are inexhaustible. It will be exhausted, but it will not always be like this. Every once in a while, this place will fall into a period of silence. During the period of silence, the speed of resource production is similar to that of the outside world. This period of time is also the time for the seam to recover. Therefore, during this period of time, we will not continue to look for resources, otherwise it will be a waste of time. I see. Yi Tian understood. In addition, he also learned from the Zuo Shu realm god that the silent period of the boundary seam realm is completely irregular, and no one knows when the silent period will come. If I had known that the quiet period was coming so soon, the top forces would not be so forceful to drive away those powerful forces, and let them stay until now, and then let the other party leave AHEF. In this way, powerful forces will not have too much resistance and conflicting ideas. After the quiet period of the seam in the East Wuji came, the top forces breathed a sigh of relief. The great star realm god came out of the seam in the East Wuji and began to practice silently. During this period of time, they will do their best to cultivate middle-level world gods and high-level world gods. Because the quiet period will not be very short, these top forces like them have to recover their strength, otherwise how will they resist the demons in the future? They don't want to rely on Yi Tian forever, nor do they want to rely on Yi Tian for 10 days. For them, it is very helpless to rely on a middle-level world god. If their own strength is sufficient, they will naturally have to rely on themselves. Since the arrival of the quiet period in the seam of East Wu, Yi Tian also left here and returned to the Holy Kingdom of human race. During this period of time, he is also practicing silently, tempering his eternal Tao seed, and improving his strength. However, after a period of time, Dongwu ancient sect came to him. This time it was a good thing. Dongwu ancient sect. Yi Tian came here, and at this time the god of the ancient world of Dongwu ancient sect was discussing something with him. Yi Tianji god, ancient Ya world god, they say hello to each other. Ji Yuya Jishan opened his mouth and said, Yi Tian Jishan, I am looking for you this time because I have a good matter to discuss with you. The Dongwu Jiji in our Dongwu realm is in a quiet period, which has caused other seams to be closed. In fact, it was also the other seam realms that entered a period of silence at the beginning, which caused the pressure on our Dongwu seam realm to surge. Now, our Dongwu seam realm has passed the crisis, but some seam realms are in a bitter fight, and even need help. This time, a seam realm is asking for help. I want you and some middle-level world gods from the Dongwu realm to come over and ask for some help. Benefit. Ask for benefits. Yi Tian was a little moved, and immediately said, I want some black leaf magic gold. This shouldn't be a difficult thing, right? Ji Yuyaji said with a smile, it's just the black leaf devil's gold. Naturally, it's not a difficult task. If Yi Tian Jaishan helps them solve the crisis, no matter how much black leaf devil's gold they have, they are willing to take it out. Okay, then I'll trouble the ancient Ya realm god to talk to them, and once they agree, I will immediately support them. Yi Tian promised. He didn't think about dealing with the other party alone, and they would not agree. After all, he is not a top force, and he is not qualified to connect with the opponent. Therefore, this matter still needs to be faced by the high-ranking world gods of the top forces, Ji-Yuya world god, and he cannot avoid it. Chapter 3078 Bei Shuan Territory, Sweeping the Demon Species Again. Northern Shuan Boundary Area. Ji-Yuya Realm God came here on behalf of the Eastern Wu Realm, and talked with the top forces in the Northern Shuan Realm to discuss support and treatment benefits. If there is no benefit, Dongwu Realm will not send Realm God to support, otherwise it will weaken its own strength. Soon, a high-ranking world god from the Beishun realm came forward to discuss this matter with Guya Realm God. Guya Realm God, if you Dongwu Realm come to help, you can take away all the resources obtained from the seam of Beishun Realm, and you don't need to stay. The high-ranking realm god, Longshan God said. Guya World God smiled slightly. Longshan World God, our world god came to support us. The resources we found in the world of crack belong to us. Could it be possible to return them to you? This is not about benefits and treatment, but it should be. You should give us extra benefits and treatment, otherwise why would you use our Dongwu Realm God to help you desperately? In terms of strength, the strength of your Beishun realm is stronger, but we are weaker, and we will not be able to bear it if we lose a little. There is no benefit, and we will not fight desperately. Quote, Guya Realm God, we have more resources in the seam of Beishun realm, and you have been longing for it for a long time. Besides, the seam of Dongwu Realm in your Dongwu Realm is now in a quiet period, and there are no resources to obtain for the time being. Opportunity. Longshan said thoughtfully. Ji-Yuya Realm God shook his head again. It's two different things. You have to pay a price to seek help from top forces in other realms. Besides, we in Dongwu Realm are 100% sure to solve your crisis and kill a lot of people. Demon Seed. 100% sure. Where do you get your confidence? Longshan Realm God was very puzzled. After all, he knows a thing or two about the strength of the Dongwu realm, so it's not as good as the Beishun realm. At this time, Ji-Yuya Ji said, Longshan Realm God, an invincible mid-level world god was born in our Dongwu realm, whose strength is much stronger than ordinary high-level world gods, and it is enough to sweep the middle-level demons. It can even kill high-level monsters. Ji-Yuya Realm God, are you kidding me? Longshan Jishin couldn't believe it. What he said was too exaggerated. Is it necessary for me to joke about this matter? Ji-Yuya Jishin said seriously, without the slightest joking tone. Seeing this, Longshan Realm God was a little convinced. Guya Realm God, if such a monstrous mid-level realm god was born in your Dongwu realm, and helped us get rid of the crisis in Beishun realm, you can mention the conditions but not unacceptable. Seeing this, Ji-Yuya World God said, a large amount of black leaf magic gold, and some precious resources. Ji-Yuya Realm God took the opportunity to ask for some resources exclusive to Beishun Realm, asking for a lot at once. Naturally, these resources are not for Yi Tian, but for Dongwu Guchen. He is equivalent to an intermediary, and he can't work for nothing. Naturally, he will take the opportunity to ask for some benefits. Anyway, at that time, he only needs to give the Black Leaf Demon Gold to Yi Tian, and the other resources will naturally belong to the Dongwu Ancient Sect. Then allocate some resources to the race and other top forces. He will not take it all by himself, otherwise, if it is exposed, it will undoubtedly offend other top forces and offend Yi Tian. Ji-Yuya Realm God, you want too many things. Longshan Realm God frowned, obviously felt that Ji-Yuya Realm God was a little too much, and what he wanted was beyond his tolerance. However, the two sides continued to negotiate and finally set a price. Of course, the premise is that Yi Tian can do what Ji-Yuya Realm God said, and help Beishun Realm defeat those demons. If he fails to do so, these resources will naturally not be given. And the god of the ancient Ya Realm has full confidence in Yi Tian, and he is already fantasizing about those resource treasures. Dongwu Territory. Guya Realm God came back and informed Yi Tian of the negotiation result, but concealed those rewards, only promised to give a large amount of black leaf magic gold, and nothing else was said. Yi Tian can also guess some, but he doesn't care about them. Because he only cares about the black leaf demon gold, and he also knows very well that the god of the ancient Ya Realm can't be busy in vain, only a fool would do this. Subsequently, Yi Tian followed some mid-level world gods among the top forces in the eastern Wu realm to the northern Shuan realm. This time, a total of 300 mid-level world gods and 16 high-level world gods were dispatched from the Dongwu realm. This scale is already very large. 0. Ask for flowers. However, the top forces in the Beishun realm still feel that there are not enough of these realm gods, because they are under too much pressure, so they naturally hope that the Eastern Wu realm will send more realm gods. But in fact, only one world god, Yi Tian, is needed to reverse the situation. Soon, Yi Tian and the others entered the seam of the northern Shuan boundary, and this was the first time Yi Tian entered the seam of the Beishuan boundary. In the seam of the Beishun realm, the energy here seems to be stronger than that of the Eastern Wu realm. Yi Tian murmured. Afterwards, he went deep into the cracks in Beishuan's world, and began to look for traces of the demons. In this world of gaps, the situation of the world gods is very bad. They have been hiding and fleeing, but the demon gods are very arrogant. Therefore, Yi Tian can find the devil seed very easily, even he doesn't need to look for it. If he stands there still, the devil seed will come to him. Really, he met the first monster, a mid-level monster, and shot directly, killing him instantly. In the days that followed, Yi Tian continued to search for the monsters, and killed them, and soon encountered high-level monsters, displayed terrifying strength, and instantly killed a high-level monster. Just like that, all the demons were bombarded and killed by Yi Tian, giving them no hope of escaping. Gradually, a large number of monsters were killed by Yi Tian. After a period of time, the demons also sensed that something was wrong and began to surround and kill Yi Tian. However, they underestimated Yi Tian. In an action to siege Yi Tian, they directly lost 6 high-level monsters and dozens of middle-level monsters. Fear. The number of demons is more than that of the gods, but the number is meaningless. After Yi Tian showed his invincible strength, the result of waiting for these demons is death. One demon species was killed, but the world gods had almost no loss. Such a result is something that the demons are unwilling to see. Time flies. The situation in Beishuan's boundary seemed quickly reversed. The world gods no longer lost and fell, but the demons continued to lose their demons. At this speed, how can the species fight against the death of the gods? Chapter 3079 continued to buy black leaf magic gold. And as Yi Tian continued to slaughter those demons, the high-ranking gods in the Beishun realm were shocked one by one. Especially Longshan realm god, the surprise in his heart was beyond words. At this moment, he was also sure that the Ji Yuya realm god hadn't boasted before, and that the Yi Tian realm god could really reverse the situation in Beishuan's boundary seam by himself. Although the Beishun boundary needs a lot of resources for the Dongwu boundary, as long as the gap between the Beishun boundary is stabilized, the resources paid can still be within the acceptable range. If the seam of the Beishun realm fell completely, and a large number of mid-level world gods fell, then the loss would be really great. Another period of time has passed. At this time, the situation in the seam of the Beishun realm has been completely stabilized. Those demons have repeatedly besieged and attacked Yi Tian, but without success, they gave up completely and did not dare to send big star demons to deal with Yi Tian again. 07, otherwise more monsters would fall, and it would be too much of a disadvantage. Gradually, the number of demons in Beishuan's cracked world was scarce, and even if they saw the world gods, they would run away quickly and not meet the world gods, so as to reduce losses. Under such circumstances, the northern boundary naturally does not need the support of Dongwu Seiyu. Ever since, the world gods who came to support from the Dongwu realm were invited out by the realm gods from the Beishun realm. If not, the gods of the Eastern Wu realm will continue to stay in the gap in the Beishuan realm, and they will obtain more resources, and these resources belong to the top forces in the Beishuan realm. Certainly, Yi Tian was not invited out. The top forces in the northern Shuan realm still needed Yi Tian. If Yi Tian was here, at least the safety of the gap in the northern Shuan realm could be guaranteed. However, it is obviously impossible for Yi Tian to stay in the seam of Beishuan forever. As long as they are stable for a long time, they will not allow Yi Tian to stay in Beishuan Jiaji. Otherwise, with Yi Tian's strength, it would be enough to sweep Beishuan's boundary seam, so many resources would be taken away by Yi Tian alone. How could other world gods snatch resources? Really, with the passage of long years, the demon species of Bibi Saifeng still have no reinforcements. Ever since, the Longshan realm god of Beishun realm found Yi Tian. Yi Tian Jishan, our cooperation with Dongwu realm has come to an end. You can leave Beishun realm seam realm. Longshan Jishan said. It is good. Yi Tian didn't say anything, and chose to leave directly. He is not the world god of Beishun realm, there is no power to speak of here, and his strength cannot resist these top forces. Moreover, he has obtained enough benefits and resources to leave. If he continues to forcibly refuse to leave, he will undoubtedly offend the top forces in Beishuan's realm, which will not do him any good. Soon, Yi Tian left from the seam in the northern Shuan boundary. Not long after Yi Tian returned to the eastern Wu realm, he received a message from the god of the ancient Ya realm, asking him to go to the eastern Wu ancient sect to collect reward resources. Thus, Yi Tian soon came to East Wutongjing. After a while, he saw Ji Yu Ya realm god. At this time, Ji Yu Ya Jia waved his hand, and took out a large amount of black leaf magic gold. Besides that, there are some other resources. Yi Tian realm god, this is the black leaf magic gold given to you according to the agreement. The Beishun realm has already settled for me, and now I give it all to you. And these resources are also the rewards we decided to give you. Ji Yu Ya realm god said. Yi Tian was not polite at all, and directly took away these resources. Ji Yu Ya realm god, then I will not be polite. Yi Tian smiled. At this time, Ji Yu Ya Jia said again, Yi Tian Jia, Beishuan Jia also said that if there is still trouble in Beishuan's seam, I hope you can go to help, and they will give some benefits. Quote. No problem, Yi Tian nodded. Afterwards, Yi Tian chatted with Guya realm god for a while before they parted. The holy country of the human race. Yi Tian came back, and then he began to practice penance. This time, he obtained a large amount of black leaf magic gold, and he may be able to raise the eternal Dao seed to the limit by himself. Therefore, he must promote his eternal Dao seed as soon as possible. Therefore, in the following years, he continued to extract the origin of the black leaf magic gold to temper the eternal Dao seed, and the eternal Dao seed gradually became stronger. Before you know it, 50 billion years have passed since the Dao era. For such a long time, Yi Tian gradually ran out of black leaf magic gold, but his eternal Dao seed still hasn't reached the current limit of 0. Of course, he can also attack the high-level world god realm now, but he doesn't want to break through now. He must raise his eternal Dao seed to the limit, and then break through the realm. After all, he didn't need to make himself unable to break through to the limit in order to rush for such a little time. Perhaps breaking through now, the impact is not too great, and the strength is only a little weaker, but every realm doesn't care about this increase, and the strength will weaken more in the later stage. The reason why he can still fight the enemy across great realms is that every realm has reached the limit, which is incomparable to his son. Therefore, his combat effectiveness at the same level far exceeds that of his son Yi Xingchen. The black leaf magic gold has been exhausted, and it is almost there. I have to collect some more black leaf magic gold. Yi Tian murmured. Ever since, he continued to collect black leaf magic gold. While letting the Holy Nation Chamber of Commerce collect them, they invited some high-level world gods to buy them. He is now very famous in the Eastern Wu realm, so many high-level world gods are willing to make friends with him. It is naturally not a problem for him to invite these high-level world gods to buy the black leaf demon gold. Moreover, he is also willing to give a lot of resources, which is enough to make Shendu's heart beat. In terms of wealth, he is now much richer than many high-level world gods. After all, he killed many high-level monsters and a large number of middle-level monsters in the gap between Dongwu and Beishun in 0.7. Many high-level monsters also carried all the resources and treasures into his hands. This also led to his amazing wealth. If not, many resources are not suitable for high-level world gods, but only for high-level demons, otherwise his wealth are more than 10 times that of ordinary high-level world gods. Not long after Yi Tian paid a large price to acquire the black leaf magic gold, a copy of the black leaf magic gold was successfully purchased and delivered to Yi Tian. In this way, Yi Tian gathered together the black leaf magic gold he needed, which was enough to raise his eternal first kind to the limit. Of course, he will continue to buy black leaf magic gold, even if he doesn't need it in the future, his wife and children will need it too. Therefore, this kind of black leaf magic gold, he bought as much as he had. Chapter 3080 Breakthrough in Cultivation, High-Level World God. Practice. Yi Tian was immersed in the process of refining and upgrading the eternal Dao seed, using the genichi of the black leaf magic gold to refine his eternal Dao seed bit by bit, and finally raise the eternal Dao seed to the current limit. Finally raise the eternal Dao seed to the limit. Yi Tian said excitedly. He has now reached the limit of the mid-level cultivation base of the Eternal Realm God Realm, and he is only one step away from the high-level cultivation base of the Eternal Realm God Realm. He only needs to condense the 7th Eternal World Spirit, and his cultivation base will break through to the Eternal Realm, the high-level realm of the gods. He stabilized the Eternal Dao seed a little bit, and was ready to break through. Certainly, he is also very clear that if he wants to break through, the success rate will not be very high, unless he prepares various resources to assist in condensing the Eternal World Spirit. However, his wife and children also need those resources, and if they use them up by themselves, it will be equivalent to losing a share. Besides, if he fails to break through, it doesn't matter, just change to a duplicate body. Therefore, he does not need these resources urgently. Leave those resources to them, I can hit the bottleneck again and again. Yi Tian thought to himself. Not long after, Yi Tian began to attack the high-level cultivation of the Eternal World God realm, to gather the 7th perfect level Eternal World Spirit. The 7th Eternal World Spirit chosen by Yi Tian is the inheritance method of the perfect level Eternal World Spirit. Xuanming Fog Territory is a perfect level Eternal World Spirit technique. The Eternal World Spirit technique of Xuanming Fog Territory is a kind of Eternal World Spirit technique-like domain. Once it is cast, it will form a vast domain, suppressing the strength and speed of the enemy will be of great help in the battle. Of course, in the face of powerful enemies, once this kind of Eternal World Spirit technique is broken, it will be useless. Only against enemies whose strength is similar to or weaker than his own, the effect of this Eternal World Spirit technique is extremely terrifying. Therefore, this perfect level Eternal World Spirit technique can only be said to be icing on the cake, and it cannot make one's strength skyrocket. If not, he would have chosen this method of inheriting the Eternal World Spirit long ago. The holy country of the human race, Yi Tian's own retreat. He began to practice in seclusion here, practicing the method inherited from the giant mysterious snake. Time passed little by little, and after a long time, the phantom of the mysterious serpent appeared on Yi Tian's body. However, not long after, this phantom shattered, and Yi Tian's eternal Tao seed became extremely weak, and cracks appeared, which was a breakthrough failure. Sure enough, it's not that easy to break through. No matter how perfect my foundation is, the difficulty of breaking through will not change. Yi Tian murmured. Immediately, he changed to a duplicate body again, and continued to practice the method of inheritance of the giant mysterious snake. Another long period of time has passed. On this day, Yi Tian failed to break through again. However, he wasn't worried at all. Anyway, he could break through countless times, which was also his advantage, while other gods in the eternal realm didn't have such opportunities. In this way, time flies, and countless years have passed. After Yi Tian failed again and again, he summed up his experience again and again, and became more confident in his next breakthrough. Unknowingly, tens of billions of Tao era years have passed. Another breakthrough. This time, Yi Tian practiced the method of inheriting the mysterious giant snake as usual, and condensed the mysterious giant snake. He avoided all possible risks of problems, practiced extremely earnestly, and finally completed the most critical whole process. Boom! The semi-finished Xuanming Serpent World Spirit condensed by Yi Tian crazily absorbs his eternal Tao seed power, as well as absorbs the energy of the outside world. Seeing this scene, Yi Tian was very excited, which meant that his chances of breaking through were greatly increased, and as long as there were no accidents in the future, he would succeed in breaking through completely. Immediately, he took out various resources, which provide energy to ensure that the condensed mysterious serpent will not collapse due to lack of energy. Gradually, the Xuanming Giant Serpent World Spirit was bred, and continued to grow until it grew to the same level as other Eternal World Spirits. Only then did the real breakthrough come. Another period of time passed. This day, Yi Tian's mysterious underworld Giant Serpent World Spirit has been successfully conceived, perfectly formed, and will not collapse again. It's just that Yi Tian at this time is extremely weak, and the eternal Tao seed is also very weak, he barely sprouted. Moreover, his Eternal World Spirit art, Xuanming Fog Domain, this Eternal World Spirit art, was also successfully awakened and completely mastered by him. It's too difficult to break through without relying on any resources, that is to say, I can break through the bottleneck time and time again. If it were other gods, it would be impossible to break through. Yi Tian thought to himself. Therefore, at the level of high-level world gods in the Eternal World God realm, every breakthrough has to consume countless resources to assist breakthroughs, so there is only a little hope, and it may not be possible to break through. This is also the reason why so many high-level world gods have no shortage of resources, but it is difficult to break through. It's not that they don't have enough time to practice, they don't have enough background, and it's not that they lack resources, but the success rate of breakthroughs is really too low, and sometimes they can only rely on luck. If you are lucky, you may succeed in breaking through a few times, but if you are unlucky, you may never succeed in breaking through. In the next 210 days, Yi Tian slowly recovered his eternal Tao seed, and in the process of recovery, nourished the Eternal World Spirit little by little. He discovered that the source of the black leaf demon gold could also quickly recover the eternal Tao seed, but he didn't use much. After all, he had to save it for his wife and children, so he slowly recovered his eternal Tao seed, using other resources to recover. Although the recovery speed is slower this way, at least the black leaf gold is left behind. This time, in order to restore the eternal Tao seed, Yi Tian spent a full 80 billion Tao era years, which shows how weak his eternal Tao seed is. But in the end, he recovered. Strength, my current strength far surpasses the past. Yi Tian said excitedly. The high-level cultivation of the eternal realm God realm, 7 perfect level eternal world spirits, and 7 perfect level eternal world spirits make his combat power extremely terrifying. It can be said that in terms of combat power, he may not be weaker than the high-level Sishengu who has condensed 9 eternal Sijiangs. You know, this kind of strength is already the top existence in the East Wu territory. In other words, Yi Tian's combat power is placed in the East Wu territory, and he may already be invincible. Of course, if there is a more powerful high-level world god hidden, it would be hard to say.